Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark, the podcast that's just as spicy as a taco from Taco Bell. We've got a packed show for you tonight with more celebrity news than a TMZ paparazzi party. First up, we've got the latest on Willow, the show that just won't die at Disney+. Apparently, the showrunner is teasing more adventures for the little guy. And we're not just talking about Warwick Davis's height. Plus, we've got the sad news that actor Lance Reddick has passed away, which is a real bummer, because we were hoping to get him on the show. But it's not all doom and gloom, folks. Super Mario Bros., the movie, is set to have a huge opening weekend at the box office, proving that the plumber with the mustache still has star power. And speaking of star power, Bruce Campbell is down for more Sam Raimi-directed Evil Dead, which is great news for fans of chainsaws and deadites. So grab your popcorn and get ready for a wild ride, because tonight's episode of Hollywood After Dark is going to be more fun than a game of Mario Party with Warwick Davis and Bruce Campbell.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show, Hollywood After Dark, St. Patrick's Day edition. And I am not drunk, because I don't drink anymore. But the night is young. The night is full of weird, crazy, funny things to talk about. Of course, some tragedy to discuss as well. So it's not all going to be that I... sorry, it's the thing, guys. It's gonna be a show. Cool thing I found out today, actually, is something really cool that YouTube has done, is they have actually now started allowing live streams to become part of YouTube Music as a form of a podcast, which means that Hollywood After Dark, and now the playlist has over 240 episodes, is now available to listen to on YouTube Music as a podcast, which is just cool, because apparently it's like the #1 music app out there. It beats out iTunes. It beats out Spotify. A lot of people use YouTube. So we could start seeing a bigger influx of users for that. So it's going to be kind of crazy. Anyway, sorry, my girl, of course, as soon as I go live, my girlfriend texts me. She's like, "Can you come change the baby's diaper?" So there's that. But you know what? It is there. Marcus here says, "You're early, usually a bad thing, but not in this case." Now, I mean, like, I go live between 9:30 and 10 normally. I went out already, did my delivery driving, hung out with my kid, and came back and just decided to go live tonight. I was gonna go see what's it called? I was gonna go see Shazam 2, but I just wasn't able to. So tomorrow I absolutely will. But like I said, there's a lot going on. So let's take a look here at the chat. Willie here says something about it was mentioned on Fat Man Beyond. I don't quite know what's going on with that. So there's that. So what's going on? The Lance Reddick stuff. Oh my God. All right. Well, here, son of a bitch. So give me a quick second. I need to go change my kid, because apparently that is being requested of me. No, screw it. I took the nah. You hold on. I'm fighting back on this one. All right. You know what? She can do it. Because like, I am live, and I took the 5-year-old all night tonight. Let's see here. Rational says, "I created a saggy AI erotica. I can send it to you." Yeah, there you go on that one. Yeah, go ahead. By all means, send it over here. We'll try it. It's the Willow not returning for a second season. Yes, definitely. Yeah, Willow has been canceled, but John Kasdan, the showrunner, it has dropped some other information. We're going to be talking about that. That's why I said it's a show that just won't die. So you have to think about that for a second. I hope I don't end up on the couch tonight. Well, anything could happen. Anything could happen here. Although, just a hater of Ryan Kinnell and Geeks and Gamers, thank you for the $2, says, "Finally saw Quantumania, and darn it, I loved it." Yeah, Quantumania is a solid movie. Quantumania is a really, really, really good movie, and I really like it. You know what? It gets a lot of unnecessary hate. And you know what? I've been getting messages about Shazam 2. A lot of good messages about Shazam 2. Sorry, my girlfriend just texted me. I said, "Nah, you do it. I'm live," and she responds back with, "Wait, you need the internet to be live, right?" She wants to. Those are fighting words. Them's. Hold on, I'm gonna respond back here. Them's be fighting. Damn it, damn auto, fucking text. All right. Okay. Anyway, I should probably I might have to go change my kid. That's how it is. H-Barts here says Willow needs to stay canceled unless it ditches the modern music. I mean, that's the biggest complaint I hear about everyone. Is that the music was the biggest problem. So there's that. My wife has a point. I mean, that is true. That is very true that she has a point on that one. And I could find myself being in a situation where I could be in trouble. Marcus here says Zod Rider has gone off the deep end. I don't know how that is not something that happens on a day ending and why. So there's that. All right, here's the thing, guys. 1's in the chat if I should go change my child, or 2's in the chat if I should leave it to my girlfriend to go and change the child. I'm going to leave it to you guys. You guys decide, because I'll be gone for 2-3 minutes. So there's that. Big Time Daredevil. It's right now canceled, but there's a lot more information that we now know about all that. You guys are like diaper duties and there you. All right, dear. So I got to think of something to play while you got. Well, okay. Well, let me find something to play while I do this. Okay, fine. I'll be the good father, but I'm gonna guilt trip the hell out of her though. I will guilt trip the hell out of her. What could I do? What do I have? What do I have that I could play? That's a couple minutes at least. Oh God, somebody give me a link of something. You know what? Wait, I have an idea. We'll do a solid. We'll do a favor to an old friend. How about that? Right? We'll do a favor to an old friend because it's a situation that I need help with. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to stream snipe Mad Max.
Change of the
while I go do this. I'll be right
Cal
back.
Was saying, if he's more sympathetic to the team, he might be on Team X-Men. That justifies the costume change. But I also don't think that's going to last, though.
It's just with his helmet. He flips and flops from villain to hero all the time. But I love Magneto and I love his look, his original. Well, not his original look, but a play on his original look from the 60s. But in the 91 version drawn by Jim Lee, that's my defender of Magneto. And I don't like this. But it does kind of harken back to a little bit to the House of the M era of Magneto, where he had a little different costume that's kind of white and stuff. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not behind it, but whatever. I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah. So that's all for our topics. I appreciate Brian, Cal, CJH, and Senior Nerd stopping by. We are going to transition into a Picard episode watch party. And then after CJH, I will do the mailbag. I will do, or if you want me to save it for you tomorrow, me and you could do it tomorrow. But there's not even much in there. Last time I checked. Oh wow, Wayne T. Carr is here.
Hello, there's a lot now.
Oh my God! Yeah, he's suffering. I bet he's suffering more.
Well, we're going to watch Picard. That's nice. I don't care. Hello, whatever. Okay. So we are going to transition into Picard. I'm getting that set up. And thank you for your Picard. Yeah, thank you for your patience, Brian. I'm sorry I make you wait so long. Movie talk there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Oh, I didn't even get to the trailer reactions. I'll do that later too. All right, I had some trailers that I would react to video games. Okay. All right. Cal, are you staying for Picard? He left. Zeno, don't do that. Zeno, don't do that. Please. Why are you going to do that? Just, because he's not here as much, it doesn't. That's not. Yeah. All right, because you're just giving them ammo for everyone that said anything ever bad about you, bro. So it's like, what are you doing here? You're not helping me out by doing that.
All right.
All right, hold on. Let me get to... Oh, you're not helping me at all. All right. We'll talk later, Zeno. Sheesh. All right, here we go. Here's the private chat, Brian. Okay, let me boot up Picard. And you said this is a fire episode, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Am I in the wrong backstage? What's
No,
going
no.
on
I
here?
said I just put it back there now.
Oh my bad. I'm in the wrong fucking link.
Or let me put it. Let me do it again. Maybe I put the wrong link. Whoops. Here, let me try again. Okay, there you are. I'm muting you. All right, let me bring in.
Okay, sorry about that. There we go.
And here you'll.
There we go. I don't know what was going on with that one. I'm sorry, guys. She had a poopy diaper, and that was, I guess, punishment for something. I don't know, payback for something. All I heard was that I'll owe you, which she's like, I'll buy you caffeine in the morning. Oh, sorry. That was the first thing that popped up, guys. That was the first thing that popped up in my head. So there's that. Anyway, we're back. We are back. We are back. And we are now on track. We are now on track to talk about a lot of stuff there. So yeah, I was on quick diaper duty. I didn't know that she had pooped. I had a feeling she had pooped. I definitely was, a thing. And I was like, oh my God, my child, like she does like these stealth poops. Sometimes you seriously have like no freaking idea about all that crap. So anyway, all right, we are back on track. We are, let me just kind of catch my hands. Did I wash my hands? Oh my God. Yes, I wash my hands. I'm like a hypochondriac for that. Like I wash my hands so often. I have got a 20-ounce bottle of Gold Bond literally in my hand right now. And I freaking moisturize like a motherfucker because I wash my hands so goddamn often. Moisture asking, is Bob Iger conservative? The answer to that is yes. I'm sorry for leaving you guys alone with Max. I clicked on something on YouTube. He was live. I could make it work. And I just needed something. I didn't have anything else that wasn't probably copyright. So I'm very, very sorry for that. But yeah, I wash my hands all the time because I got the kids and I've worked in food for a long time. So I wash my hands very frequently. And I like to have them to be moistured. So that's just, I hate dry skin. So there's that. That's why I've always got lotion with me to the point of where it's like a running gag with my family about how soft my skin is. So there's all that stuff. Anyway, pirate or death? I don't quite know. But anyway, no, Bob Iger is definitely a conservative. Because it's like, I think he's more liberal than, he's definitely not liberal, but he's like not a hardcore conservative. He understands the base. He understands what's going on with all that. Right. And of course, there's a lot going on with politics today that I don't necessarily want to get into, but we do have a real possible shit show happening next week, which is going to be a lot of fun. So you need a cutaway bit that can be reused. Yeah, that's going to be a couple minutes. Exactly. Just Slay Queen Slay on repeat for 3 minutes. Come on. Even I'm not going to torture people that much. Anyway, Shogun here for 5. Thank you very much. I'm kind of surprised Iger is conservative and promoting progressivism so hard, seemingly. Iger, this is my opinion. See, again, progressivism ultimately is policy, right? So progressivism is largely, in my opinion, policy driven. It's not like the woke left. I gotta hate that term, but it's not like, how people would identify or classify the woke left, right? This is how I view it. So Iger pushes progressivism because he understands at least certain progressive aspects, because he knows on a social level it will work. It will look good for the company. Right. But it took Bernie Sanders calling out Disney back in like 2016 or whatever, 2015, 2016, to get them to come on board to finally up the amount of pay that cast members get. So like they did bow to public pressure, but it also helps because Iger is really well regarded because he does care supposedly care about the base, right? About the consumers and everything else. Chapek is definitely conservative, far more rigid. I always like to joke about California conservatives because they're really conservative fiscally, not as much on like a social level anymore. That's largely been kind of bred out of California conservatives. It's a lot of like, there's not like, there are people like in like the more like rural parts of Cali that might be like, get off my lawn, don't tread on me, Trump 2024. But they don't have any actual power. You know, largely though, most California conservatives are people who are just fiscally conservative, relatively socially chill. You know, and I've met a bunch. San Diego is full of them because it's like a military town. But most of them are chill. They're just financially like that. Anyway, I mean, it's kind of crazy, you know? He voted for Obama and Hillary, more conservative Democrats. I mean, yeah, probably along those lines. I'd say he's definitely not a progressive, but he understands. He understands how that works. Moisture here says, you complained about Zaslav being a conservative, so I just wanted to know. Well, okay, again, the idea there, though, is like Zaslav is a conservative and I believe a different way. Like, he's conservative in the sense of like running a company, and damn the consequences of being conservative. Iger is way more politically savvy. Zaslav isn't politically savvy. There's a difference there. That's what we have to remember. Zaslav isn't very politically savvy, but Iger has had aspirations for presidency. There was talks about that. He has since moved away from that. But remember, back in 2016, after Trump got elected, there was talks about Iger running in 2020. He walked away from that, you know, but I guarantee you he put together a coalition to a research team to look into whether or not Iger would have had the ability to run, which is one of the reasons why I think that he stepped back from being CEO when Disney was really at its height, to be able to use that as a way to come on in and make that political run. That being said, he also, you know, brought in Chapek, which he has since lamented, and COVID hit, which threw everything for a lurch. But joining me tonight is an oldie but a goodie, Chris the Bipolar Jedi. What's going on, Chris?
So, are we voting for DeSantis or not? We're talking about Disney.
I ain't voting for DeSantis, motherfucker. Shit. I mean, like, look, dude, it's like, where, like, I don't even want to go full politic and shit because I don't really want to get into all that crap.
I'm just messing with you, but I do know one thing about you. You always choose policy over.
I'm way more, yeah. Like, if a Republican could give me a good policy, I'd be okay. But I would be completely fine. I'd have no problem with conservatism if it had better policy. You know, but I do also think in social progress, and I think we need to kind of like get that back on track. But I did fuck around today a little bit because I have to share this because I'm just going to be a dick. But with everything that's going on with the rumor that Donald Trump is going to get indicted, right? And even Fox is now reporting on it. Fox is now reporting that Donald Trump is going to be indicted next week, and that they're now just figuring out the logistics of how to arrest him. Like literally our former president is in the process of going to be like indicted on felony charges. Whether or not it goes to court, I don't know. Whether or not, if it does go to court, if he gets convicted, fuck if I know. I have no fucking idea. Okay. He's Teflon Don for a number of reasons, but he's always been able to stay out of having to make that perp walk. He's always been able to stay out of that. He's never had to do it. He might have to actually do it now. And that, my friends, is like, look, there's, to kind of go back to Zack Snyder, because we always talk about Zack Snyder. Snyder showed yeah, right. Who the fuck is that guy? Jesus Christ. Makes movies? What kind of movie? I never heard of a fucking Zack Snyder. But no, go back to 300, right? So in 300, you know, what is it that Leonidas is able to do to Xerxes, a man who proclaims himself God?
Make him bleed.
Makes him bleed. That's all you got to do is make God bleed, and it causes doubt. So with Trump, again, full on assault frontally, hard to do. He's easy. He's able to deflect that. He's easy to go, lies, whatever, because nothing has ever truly stuck. Nothing has ever gotten to the point where he wasn't able to kind of like either buy his way out or deal his way out. Now, if he gets hit with a felony charge and that's gone to a grand jury and it's done all of these things and they all that kind of shit. And he gets busted, and he has to go and surrender and go through the process of being booked. I thought it'd be pretty funny to make a little bit of an AI image on that. So I made this today.
Yeah, I saw that.
It looks good. It looks like
it looks real.
It looks real. It does. This is the new Midjourney. It's great. It's fantastic. I'm utterly hopelessly addicted to it, and it's just going to get me in so much trouble. Moisture for 5. Thank you though. It says California conservatives are only fiscal. Tell that to McCarthy. Look, you have to understand. McCarthy doesn't care about his constituents. All right. He doesn't care about the people of Bakersfield. He's the leader of the Republican Party effectively. Outside of Trump, he's like second in command. He cares about the money and the donors and where the power of that really is. He doesn't really have, he's got power in regards to like leading the Republican Party in the House. But again, it's just like people, it's like people who voted for Marjorie Taylor Greene in Georgia. It's a conservative district that's not going to change. There are red pockets of California, but but a lot of people also vote for who's already been in there because it's just easier to go, oh yeah, that guy's there. Yeah, we ain't dead yet. Just reelect him. Like that's what it is. That's the whole point. It's like, that's really what it boils down to. Like if you wanted my honest, I'll tell you this, if I was a billionaire, you know what I would do? I would pick a couple key. This is seriously, I would be all devious on this shit too. I would find the districts in the House that had the most powerful people on the opposing party. So for me, it would be the Republicans. If I was a billionaire, I would open up businesses in those counties, in those districts, and then I would hire from California or other very liberal states and move them to that city, to that district, tipping the voting in the favor.
I thought that wasn't allowed.
How can it not be? If I open a business,
no, wait. It's in the same state. It's in the same state. Okay, you're just crossing county lines.
No, you can. I mean, you can do this too. Even that's one of the reasons why we're seeing a shift in Texas. There's a lot of liberals moving to Texas.
And AOC's.
Look at Arizona.
Look at AOC. Her biggest, almost they're from other places.
Yeah, her donors all come from other places.
Yeah, she has this massive. And they're all from different places. So
that's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's like, look at Arizona. Arizona is now a blue state. Why is that? Latino population, right? The Latino population and the elderly conservative voters that go there, that move there. There's now more Latinos. Why did Georgia turn blue? Because Georgia did turn blue. 2 senators, right? Voted for Biden. That turned blue. Why did that happen? Well, that was a largely conservative state, right? So we're seeing flipping of conservative states. We're not seeing flipping of liberal states. Some swing states are still in flux in certain areas, but really, I mean, what we're seeing is like a larger demographic moving on in. The younger demographic is the generation's going to do that. And I'm just telling you, it's like the age of the boomer, which is right now. Once that's over, we're going to start seeing a lot of weird shit happening when the Gen Xers are like, it's our turn.
Hey, I'm a Gen Xer. All right. We tried. We did our best. All right. We fucking did. I went out there. I marched. I was like, we need this Clinton guy in there. This guy's amazing. We didn't know he was a fucking monster at the time. You know what I mean?
Clinton?
We didn't
Clinton?
know. Yeah.
Dude, he left the country better than he found it. All right. Like, it was fine. Clinton was fine. It was Bush.
That was like the change. That was our Obama. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's going to change some shit, you know?
He did change some shit. He did change some shit.
Did. He did, but he also did some shit.
Well, listen.
Finish your Disney spiel.
Listen,
I'll be right back. I'm going to go hit my cousin.
I'm just telling you, people, like, swallow, okay? Just swallow. That's it. Anyway, we got more for another. Okay, thank you. Another 5 says, I'm honestly surprised Disney didn't put up a fight against DeSantis over their district because it's the wrong time to make that play. That's the whole point. It's all politics. You have to wait to make that play. That play is a good fight because Disney, I think, is one of the largest employers in the state. They actually bring a lot of stuff into Florida. A lot of the tourism is them and Universal, as well as the cruise lines and everything else. There are things Disney could do to really make it hard for DeSantis, but right now they don't really need to. He's puffing out his chest. He's doing some stuff. It's fine. They can work with that. But believe you me, they are 100% going to be working on a way to nut punch DeSantis. Look, DeSantis fought with Chapek. And Chapek, again, is a conservative. So it wasn't really anything like that he cared much about. But now he's going to be going up against Iger, who's way more politically savvy than fucking DeSantis. And Iger ain't going to fuck around because Iger is brought in to fix what Chapek fucked up. So that's why it's going to be really, really, really fascinating. Thank you, though. Okay, so again, I know we're not always trying to do politics on here, but it happens. Let's see, Jess here for 10. Thank you, buddy. Since we're talking about the two Bobs, here is a small video to watch at the end. I hope you're also a good. Also, you are a good dad. Thank you, thank you. I will say this though. Tonight, I hung out with my 5-year-old. She came with me to go do delivery driving, and she's a blast. She's so much fun. We were. She's like. On the drive home, I'm like, okay, you tired? She's like, no. And I'm like, no, you're going to go to sleep. And I start kind of like singing her a song about it. I'm just like joking and whatever. And she then tries to mimic me because I'm like, taking a song and just adding different lyrics to it. So she tries to just do the same thing. And we're just going back and forth for like 10 minutes. It was hysterical. My kids are so cool, man. Like they're so great. I love them. But thank you for that. We'll take a look at that video. All right. Let's see. You DM me the AI voice. Okay. Let's do it. We're gonna, now that this show can go over and be on YouTube music and it's going to go to podcasts, we are going to get so many new people. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, I know, Toker. I know. I don't want to talk politics. Spend the next 15 minutes talking about politics. That's how it is. Just a hater of Ryan Kindle and Geeks and Gamers says, Jarbo needs to run for president with Riley Reid as his running mate. I mean, she could really nail the competition. You know what I mean? She could take a pounding. She could absolutely take a pounding. All right. We will take a listen to this saggy. Hey, oh my God, what are we going to fucking do? How long is this thing? I don't even know. Hold on. Is it going to play? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, geez. Oh, God.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. So here you go. You came back just in time. Apparently, this is Saggy Melon's erotic AI.
I don't even know what
I don't even know, dude. I don't even know.
St. Patrick's Day, and even though my whole family's Italian, they're all like embracing this holiday because it's an excuse to drink, and it landed on a Friday, and they're. Is my mic sound okay, guys? Am I sketchy? Am I?
No, you sound fine. You sound okay,
good. Because I can't figure out why you're cutting out, and I was afraid it was my. It
might be stream. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of that wonkiness from StreamYard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Saggy Melon's erotic AI.
Yeah, give it a second to kind of catch itself up and we'll play it. We got CJH as a new member. Thank you so much, CJH, for becoming a channel member. I know you definitely are supportive of a lot of channels. I appreciate you supporting this one. Thank you very much for that. And you know what? It's good. We're expanding on the matinees, on the channel members. It's doing well. All right, great.
I've tried twice before we go, saggy porn.
I'm surprised
that came out
here.
wrong, but you know what?
She's over on the vodka stream with Dave the Film Junkie. That's probably where she's at right now. Yeah, so she's over there.
I
so
tried
she's
to
doing
become
that.
a member like twice, and I even tried to send you a super chat earlier, just fucking with you, pretending I was going to troll and act like you didn't know who Bruce Campbell was.
Yeah, I got your. I was going to ask you about that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, bitch, you
my
know Bruce
fucking
Campbell.
Apple Pay never works on my shit when I try to be like you.
Yeah,
Enosh, I don't understand
it's
why.
Apple's terrible, man. Because if you have an iOS device, don't super chat. Like, because they charge. Because what it is, here's the reason why is YouTube takes 30% in general. Apple takes 30% first.
Well, then you're like 40% of your own fucking super chat. Wow.
Yeah. So 60. So it's like so what happens is Apple takes 30%, which is $1.50, and then so that's $3.50 left, and then YouTube takes 30% of that. So if you super chat $5 through an iOS device, the user only gets $2.70. Like literally, it's like super chats are good. They're fantastic for connecting. Thank you guys so much, really. But on that 30% shit, it kicks in hard, dude. Like, yeah, it's crazy. That's one of the reasons why Epic Games sued Apple over that 30% surcharge, because Apple was cutting into the amount of money they were earning from Fortnite Mobile. So that's some crazy. That's how this shit works, man. They all fucking cut in. There's all those, all those fees and shit. And it's just like, they want to get you. That's why literally I keep telling people Patreon is the best way to do it. You can do the monthly membership.
What happened? I can't hear Matt at all.
Did it cut out again? Okay. I should be working. Can you hear me now? Chris, can you hear?
I'll be right back.
Okay. He's going to come back in. Okay. Reed here for 5. Thank you. Says a Good Burger 2 is happening. I sent you the Ken and Kel interview that happened March 17th. I think they're actually making it. Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, I was going to talk about that too, because it just dropped tonight. Which is so crazy to think about, that they just dropped that information. We'll take a look at that actually real quick. You sent that to me on okay, yeah, there we go. I got the Variety article right here. We'll take a look at that real quick while we wait for Chris to come back, and then we'll get to the Saggy Melons AI. That ought to be interesting, especially people who are new. All right, so Good Burger 2 set at Paramount Plus. Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell returning. That's fantastic. Good Burger 2, I got to say it right. Good Burger 2 has officially been greenlit at Paramount, with original stars Kenan and Kel set to return. The news was revealed on Friday's episode of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. The sequel to the beloved Nickelodeon film will begin production in May, with plans to debut it later on Paramount Plus in 2023. Saying, I can't believe it's been a little over 25 years since great customer service was born at Good Burger, Thompson said in a statement. Being a part of something so many generations of people have come to love has made me so proud. And now to be back where it all began, working on the sequel, is surreal. I love performing with my brother Kel and can't wait to show the fans what these characters have been up to since we last saw them. I can't believe that either, man. Can you believe that, Chris, that it's coming back, that Good Burger 2 is happening?
That blows my mind. I've always been a huge Kenan Thompson fan. Like, I've always loved the guy. I think he's really funny. And like, Kel is funny too, and I know that was one of my brother's favorite movies, and I would never sit through it because I'm something about campy slapstick comedy. I kind of outgrew it, but now it's kind of coming back, and I just remember the part my brother used to run around doing that one part from the movie where water. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Water. And Billy would do that all the time. So finally I sat down and watched the movie, and I had so much fun with it. And back when Carmen Electra was still fine as hell, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot going on in that movie. And I can't believe after all this time, we're going to get a part 2, man. Because those guys are like in their 40s now. It's crazy.
It's crazy to think about that. Yeah. Because I mean, I remember going to see Good Burger when it came out in theaters back in 97. I was 15. You know, I think I've only seen it like one time, because when all that was a thing, when like the Kenan and Kel show, all that stuff was happening, I didn't have cable. So I didn't have like you guys got to remember, it's like we had cable up until the very first week of Comedy Central back in like 93, 94, or 95. So whenever Comedy Central came out, my family decided, oh yeah, you know, we don't need to pay for cable television anymore. Let's just get rid of it. So it's like, we used to watch Beavis and Butthead, used to watch all that stuff. And then all of a sudden I used to be able to watch Nickelodeon, Rugrats, Rocco, all that shit, you know, Hey Dude, you know, Salute Your Shorts, all those shows.
No, I remember.
And then they got rid of it. And then I sat there like a fucking loser, because all my friends are like, hey, did you watch this? And I'm like, no, you know, and it's all like, well, you got to like come down and check it out at my house. Like it's like when South Park came out, you know, like I had heard about South Park. I'd heard about it. Like I had seen the Christmas, the little 5-minute. We watched it in my German class, because we talked the teacher into downloading it. And so she was like, we shouldn't probably watch this. And then we all watched it, laughed our asses off, because, you know, the 90s. And then like, still, I didn't see the show until I went to my friend's house who had cable TV. And he's like, dude, have you seen South Park? And I'm like, no. And he goes, oh, you've got to watch it. And he'd been recording the episodes. So we sat down and we watched all the episodes that had been out at that point. And I'm like, God fucking damn it, motherfucker. You know, like I was pissed, because even Beavis and Butthead, I missed out on Beavis and Butthead, you know? Like I'm a big Beavis and Butthead fan, and that was gone. That was taken away.
First of all, like the cable thing back in the day, when I wasn't doing time, there was a way to get cable.
What, those 2 weeks in the August of '93? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm too high for you to make jokes like that. And then gotta mute my mic. I can't breathe. That was really good, Maddie. Oh shit! Oh my god! I fucking sound like a dork. My eyes are watering. My nose is running now from laughing so hard. Anyway, we used to here in those flower states you love so much. We'll just climb the pole and we'll steal cable. That's how we used to steal it. But that leading into what I was gonna say, Nickelodeon, for my money, has always been on the cutting edge, though. They've always been a little bit ahead of the game when it comes to that kind of comedy and stuff, before they became like part of the machine, the Disney machine, the Nickelodeon machine. And I remember all this. And I remember, was it Amanda Bynes, the one that used to sit at the end of the bed and read the letters and freak out?
I think so. I think like the Amanda Show. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that shit used to make me laugh so hard. But I always felt a little creepy watching Nickelodeon as I got older.
Yeah.
But when I started watching my kids,
the Dan Schneider era, I could see that
stuff, and I was, I grew up in the Double Dare era. You know what I mean? Like,
me too.
Television era. And then it just like Nickelodeon's always been kind of ahead of the curve on that stuff, man. So I could see. Someone not having cable being like, fuck, I'm missing out on some really good shit.
Yeah. I mean, because I did have.
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all
good. Joke just popped in my head again. Oh, what a dick move. That was such a douche joke that it was so funny. I did actually have 2 years out on the street in the 90s, man. The rest of it, okay. That made me laugh.
Sorry.
Goddamn.
Sorry. Speaking of toxic, because that was a toxic joke that I made at your expense. Jess here for 2 says, also Toxic Crusader video game is coming out. I did see the video for that. I saw the trailer for that. It's so interesting that it looks like Shredder's Revenge. It looks like it looks like the Simpsons beat 'em up. It looks like fun. They're doing a Toxic Avenger video game. That's going to be like a beat 'em up.
That's what I wanted to say. I really want them. I know people hate this idea, but your AI, I don't want to go back to politics. I just want to talk about this one person, though. Like that AI you did, I want him to be a playable character in one of the games, like Mortal Kombat or something so bad. I just want a Donald Trump playable character. You don't think that would be a fucking
I'm sure one of them already exists out there. Yeah. I mean, like the AI stuff, trust me, this week AI has taken massive leaps forward. But we're going to see something. We're going to listen to something now that I think is, I haven't heard this. I haven't heard this.
Every time I come in here, I sidetrack your fucking show.
It's perfectly fine. The show is designed to be sidetracked. Like it really, really, really is. And
by the way, before you click on this, that's what I wanted to send the super chat and say, besides Bruce Campbell. So, bro, your patio stuff, we'll talk about it after we listen to Saggy. I want to keep changing the subject, but your patio stuff, bro, is so fucking good. That's like my favorite content right now. The Running Man one, off the fucking chain, bro. So good.
Oh, thank you.
Keep doing that shit, Matt.
I'm going to.
Stuff, bro. That's like my favorite content right now.
I'm just trying to figure out ways to make it better. Is what I'm trying to do.
Mute my mic.
All right. Let's. God, this is good. God, I wonder how bad this is going to be.
The bar
Clip.
dance floor towards me. I stand upright as I see you walking towards the bar with purpose. I have never seen you before, and I like what I see. You stop next to me at the bar to order a drink and smile at me awkwardly, your confidence waning. I smile back, trying to give my best I don't bite face.
I can't turn the music down.
And house letters.
Spaghetti straps on your thin top, and I find my eyes wandering lower. The silky material leaving little to the imagine.
All right, so I gotta kill it only because for one we can't hear it.
Stop it every 15 seconds.
Well, no, it's not that. It's the problem with the 11 Labs sometimes. Is that it starts to like the audio starts to drown itself out, like the longer the pieces, and so playing it to share, you have to like it's like you have to rationally. You got to go back and like cut out the music and then listen to it again. remix it to where the music is running
down.
in at like 10, like we're talking like 7%, right? At like the scale, like 7%, so minimal. It's only in the background. So it's like the music was too loud. It was like, you can't even, and I can't tweak it at all, which is why the way Ash Eternal did this one, it sounds like it's Ash did some sweetening with it to give us this amazing piece.
My divine Saggy, when I look into your almond eyes, I do not see the boy I am, but the man I must become to possess you. I want to take all of the pain from your soul, and in the passion factory of my heart, transform it into functional joy. I want to take your hand by
Sounds
the Charles
very
River,
Renaissance, bro.
and with all Boston as witness, take you as my wife, and we shall sing and dance and drink, and then I shall whisper in your ear, let rivers run wild, or let them be damned.
Oh my god, I picked a really good night to jump in the street.
My perfect Saggy, I lay my masculinity at the altar of your maidenhood.
Your maidenhood. That's perfect right there. That had good
Renaissance.
Yeah, that's how it is. Right. Rational says it sounded good on his end. I've had the same problem with 11 Labs on mine. You gotta just, like kind of make it a little bit louder, drop the music. The problem with something like Believe by Cher is that like it's a good song, but it's got the beat and it's got the
bass beat, bro.
Yeah, and it really kind of like elevates in and just makes it a thing, right? So it's like for the opening of the show for tonight, I'll just bring this up real quick here. Like even this, like I played with this for a second to kind of make it sound. I elevated the sound, the audio, and I minimized as much as I could the music bed. So like for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark, the podcast that's just as spicy as a taco from Taco Bell. We've got a
right, like
yeah, but who's doing the voice?
That's Seth Rogen.
Oh,
I used part of I trained a little bit of Seth Rogen to do it.
Do you know what I did the other night? And I know
Masturbate?
everybody's like, "Oh, Seth's going off the deep end." Whatever. I never really hold anyone's politics against them. I never have. I had a Seth Rogen night the other night. I don't know, because I've been sick as fuck. I got COVID again. Plus, I was just trying to wait out all that other bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Just wait it out because I didn't want to get mixed up in anything. So I just been laying back. So I watched Knocked Up, which is always good. Pineapple Express, which is always good. Then I watched the end, and then my top one, the one after that, I was like, I'm gonna watch one I've never seen before. What's the one with him and Charlize Theron?
Oh, God,
Long Shot.
The Long Shot, yeah.
It's a really good movie. It's really funny.
You know, it opened against Avengers Endgame, right? It actually that's like a joke, a running gag with that movie. Is they're like we're the only movie with the balls to take on Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, I do like that. It's funny, And then there's so much news this week, and I've been watching you guys. I just haven't been streaming about it, but like there's just so much going on. I was like, they're gonna do it way better than I can. But like his whole Ninja Turtle thing, and then well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk about that IG later anyway. But
in
in my heart, he'll always be The Wire. I loved him in The Wire and Commander Zavala from Destiny, the video game.
Yeah.
His
A
voice
lot of
acting.
people in Destiny actually came out and they did a thing for that, right? Where there was what's it called? They did if I could talk. Like a memorial, right? Like a wake sort of thing. They went in there tonight, yeah.
And they do this thing in Destiny every year called Festival of the Lost, which is like their Day of the Dead. Like they do that every year as like a not a DLC, but they, it's an event every year within the video game, and I'll bet big time they do it for him this year, like big time. Because
I'm sure they will.
I love him as Commander Zavala. His voice is so unique, bro. But anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, have you seen Farzar on Netflix?
Oh,
He's Farzar. Like he's the mean guy on that show. So I have no idea what happened there. But yeah, we will get to the Lance Reddick thing. I don't know. Maybe I should have started with the sad shit, but we kind of
really
jumped into
sad,
the funny
man.
shit.
Because I loved him in The Wire. I love him as just like the manager at the hotel in the John Wick movies. He's just so good at the guy. Never phoned it in. He killed it in everything he was in.
Yeah, he really was.
He
great.
was the best part of that shitty Resident Evil.
I didn't even bother watching it, but I figured he would have been a good
Wesker.
Wesker.
Part of it.
Yeah, I mean, he died, saying that he died of natural causes, but they haven't given any other details as to why he died. So, that sucks, man. Like, that really sucks. Being only 60.
I really liked him.
Yeah. There's a lot of people.
I was on the phone with a mutual friend this morning. Okay. And she was like, "Hey, Chris, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you, but look, you got to check Twitter. Look what happened." And I went, "Holy fucking shit. Is that?" And the first thing that popped in my head for some reason, Matt, the nerd in me went straight to Destiny. Went straight to the video game instead of all his amazing film accomplishments. I went straight to Commanders of Valor for some reason.
Well, you know what I would like to do? This is going to sound crazy. Okay. However, he was in Godzilla versus Kong, right? And he was in like one scene in the movie, but he's in the top billing. He's in like third billing, I think, he's in the opening credits.
Yeah,
and he's got one scene in the movie, and the reason why was they shot a lot more with him. There's like a whole storyline with him, right? There's a lot of story for Godzilla versus Kong that got cut out. But Lance Reddick's contract stated that he had to be in the opening credits. He had to be in the title crawl. So he's in the movie. But I'm like, can we bully Warner Brothers into releasing the Lance Reddick cut?
The Lance Reddick cut. Wow. You know what? my son Cody, we live here together, and he's a massive Destiny fan. Like, I dedicated 3 years of my life to that game, like, no joke. And Cody kept going. I played Destiny 2 for a while, but then my eyes got so bad I couldn't game anymore. Getting old. But so if you've played Destiny, man, I don't want to get no hate, okay? Because he didn't know. But if you play Destiny, you know that you can die over and over and over, and your little ghost brings you back to life.
Yeah.
Well, Cody didn't know that I was telling the truth. He thought I was kidding. And he's like, "Oh my God, where does he get off doing that? Did his ghost at least bring him back to life?" And I laughed and I went, "No, it's real, kiddo." And now he's all bummed out.
Yeah. No, I completely get that. What sucks though is that there's a lot of really like shitty people kind of going after this. For example, this is an actual tweet from Inside the Magic, which I fucking despise Inside the Magic. But they say here, this isn't good for Percy Jackson because Lance Reddick plays Zeus in Percy Jackson, which means they're going to have to go back and recast. Right? I mean, or they're going to
that's what matters.
Well, it doesn't matter today. No, it doesn't matter. But but that is a conversation that they are.
No, later on,
have.
Chadwick was a conversation. Yeah, they're always I get it.
It's kind of like though, but like right now, it's like really. I mean, like
really, right
when Chadwick died, my first, I was like, oh, dude, that fucking blows dick. That's terrible, man. It's cancer. It's a bad way to go. And I was like legitimately upset for the day. I wasn't like, well, what about fucking T'Challa? That wasn't until a while later. That wasn't until later. But even then, it's like when Paul Walker died, I was bummed out for days about that because I really like Paul Walker. And then, but still, I was like, I'm like, well, they have to figure out how, because they were still in the middle of filming.
Yeah, and he went out hard.
And he went out hard. Yeah, it was a big thing. And so it's like,
and I remember thinking, there's no way that. I just remember thinking, James Wan, really? Like, I remember thinking that, Matt, and because the Fast and Furious, they're one of my guilty pleasures, and I just remember thinking, how's he going to send? How are they going to do this? You know? And then the end, like literally had me in tears in the theater, like a bitch, bro.
Yeah, they gave him a good out. And then I don't know what they're doing with Fast 10, but
the symbolism in it, you have the original Charger and then you have the original Supra. Only it's a stock Supra, just pure white, which represents purity, a clean soul. And when they turn off, I'm like, wow, James Wan's a genius. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember thinking the Conjuring guy. I remember thinking that, like, Justin Lin I could understand, but and he killed it. It's one of the greatest endings ever. Go watch Grace Randolph's review of it. She balls while she does a review of that.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So when I never understood people getting upset when celebrities die, but I don't know if I just been more emotional lately or what, but like there are certain things I've been watching that have just been gutting me. The Last of Us gutted me, man. Like there's not 1 week episode.
No,
there's not 1 week episode, man.
Episode 3 was the one that got me the most.
That's
overall.
the one that fucked me
but like,
up.
That was the one that I think had the largest emotional resonance because it also did, I think, one of the most altering of the games.
Yeah, well,
but I was fine with. I was really okay.
No,
with
I loved it. The part where he ate the strawberries and he got all giddy when he was eating the strawberry, he started giggling to the point he was almost crying. I was like, dude, this guy can act. That's the guy from Parks and Rec, right?
Yeah, even he's like, I don't even know why I was cast in the show. Like, he's like, I don't know what brought them to my doorstep, but
and when he said my name's Bill, I knew right away they were a gay couple. Okay,
yeah.
And when he said my name's Bill, I went, of course his name's Bill. Of course his name's Billy. You know what I mean? And like a lot of people don't know this, but my brother, he was in the closet.
Yeah. Well, the thing that. I understand.
And it hit so hard with me on a different level. And then when they went out on their own terms, that episode, bro, hit me hard as hell. The 5th episode, I don't want to drop no spoilers, but the one with Henry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Some people haven't seen it yet, though.
Yeah.
So it's
and
kind
then
of like
8, the end of 8, when Joel calls her what he used to call his daughter. That hit me.
Yeah. No, there was a lot there with that. Like I see
1 week episode.
Well,
bro.
like Brian here says, the last episode is rushed. No, it wasn't. No, it
I
really
didn't feel
wasn't
like
rushed
it
at all.
went exactly along with the game.
It went exactly along with the game. Like it was perfectly fine. I don't see how you can call that rushed. It was like they had to set it up like that in order to have the urgency that was needed for that change for that event to happen. It had to hit, right? It had to hit. What I mean by that, without going into spoilers, for those of you who know what happened in the game, it's like he has to have that. He has that discussion with her, okay, and then moments later, right? Then everything changes. Moments later, he then wakes up, and again things now change again, and there's no resolution that he can see that's going to do right by him. So he goes into that mode and does what he does, and he does it out of love. And that's the whole point. So it's not rushed.
Out of love.
I don't understand how they can call that rushed.
It's not.
He fucking Terminators the entire fucking, like, I don't like, it's just.
No, that's what I was going to say. That's the analogy I was going to use. Straight up at the cop shop, bro.
Like just goes through and just does everything. And you're like, holy shit, it was really well done. Like, it's really well done.
And just like the little Easter eggs, Ashley Johnson, who I've been watching since Growing Pains, Matt.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching her that long. Okay. So having her, like, dude.
I remember her as little orphan Annie.
I remember her in the little cameo when Captain America saved her in Endgame. In
Avengers. Yeah, I was watching
Avengers, and I remember
I was like, that's Ashley Johnson.
Yeah, I had Critical Role. Like, dude. There's
she's
not
good
one
in that
week,
too. Yeah, she's good.
There's
in that,
not one. Whoever has, I'm not gonna drop any spoilers, but if you haven't watched The Last of Us, because I wasn't interested in it, Matt. I didn't play the game. I wasn't interested in it. Okay, that shit sucked me in, and there wasn't 1 week episode. That is the most compelling television I've seen since True Detective.
They really brought a lot to it. The great thing is they had it's like the first season of Game of Thrones. They had a really great reference point to tell that story. And then whatever they're gonna do.
Lionheart. She was the little girl in Lionheart. I forgot about that, Marcus. Good pull, bro.
Wait, Lionheart, the
Van Damme movie. She was a little girl. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I forgot all about that. Dude, there's some deep cuts, man.
There's some, she's been around for a while. And then she was on Blind Spot after The Last of Us, and she's been around. She's 39. She's actually a year younger than me.
Yeah, and she can sing. Like because you know how if you watch something you really like, you get obsessed, and now you got to go back and watch the video game clips, and you got to hear about the video game, and I do understand why people are mad about the second installment, but I also see why they did what they did in the second installment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went and they're showing her play the guitar, which I guess is a part of the video game. I watched all the movie cuts from the game, but I never played the game.
In the second one, that's
She had to play "Take on Me," right? Well, that's really her singing that shit. That's crazy. Like,
yeah, no, it was good. I mean, like the way that they did the show was really well done. I liked the episode in the mall where that was basically like the DLC.
What that was the DLC, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was good. You know, again, my biggest complaint with all of it is like, where the fuck is the new factions? Like, if you want me to buy a PS5, literally, you need to give me something. For me, at this point, it's like The Last of Us factions mode, their multiplayer, super good, completely not supported by Naughty Dog. I don't even understand that. Like, it's still being played today, 10 years later. It still has a very dedicated fan base. And yet they're like, yeah, we haven't done anything new with it. It's like here's the thing. Here's what pisses me off about Neil Druckmann. Okay. I think Neil Druckmann is a fantastic writer. I really do. I think he's a really, really, really solid writer. But this motherfucker, for some goddamn reason, in a video game that is largely combat focused with a design around like violent, gory combat, has this thing with being combat averse. He did it in Uncharted 4, and it pissed me the fuck off because Uncharted 4 has an insanely good story. I love the story of Uncharted 4, but he minimized the combat. Like, it would only be a couple of sections per mission that there would be some combat. It was really dialed back. And then, of course, they gave us the Uncharted 4 multiplayer, which was a lot of fun, but it's still in the game. You know, like the combat just wasn't there. And I'm just like, God damn it. And then but that's this whole thing. And he did the same thing in The Last of Us Part 2 as well. Like, the combat segments are cool, but they also feel kind of few and far between at times.
What's his name also known for that? Like, some dudes are just really good writers. They're really visionary at storytelling. They don't understand the way video games. I mean, what's his name?
Well, you can tell
the Asian royalty, Matt. You're gonna know who I'm talking about.
Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima. There you go.
Right, yeah.
As soon as I said Asian royalty,
fantastic director,
incredible director.
Pants on head, stupid stories. What are you doing? He's like, I could just imagine him sitting there like dipping a sugar cube in LSD and like just taking it, putting it under his tongue, and then just like leaning back in like a hot tub and just going like, flaming whales.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like
I love Norman Reedus. I love Norman Reedus. I didn't get that game, but
I haven't played it. I haven't played Death
all the
Stranding.
Snake stuff. The
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, the Metal Gear games.
Yeah.
People grew up on those, and they told me, Chris, you got to try. They're so fucking amazing, blah, blah. And I never.
No, they're good. They're definitely good. I mean,
but I did play the new one. You know.
Oh, number 5.
And the little mini one that came before number 5.
Yeah, Ground Zeroes.
That one's really
fun. Was like, fucking good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
I got that.
That's what got me hooked on them.
Yeah, I got that for PS4, like because it was like it came out like almost a whole year before the it came out like it came out in 2014
before Part 5. Yeah,
before Part 5 because Part 5 was like early September 2015.
Yeah,
because
I call it the webisode. The webisode.
Yeah, it was
game.
But I played it a bunch.
But it was fun.
I played it a bunch.
It had so much replayability because you wanted to get all those trophies or all those achievements.
Well,
not only different things to do.
And they also had it did like the way the Fox engine was and everything else. It was like really cool. What I enjoyed about it was it's actually pretty funny. The game Mad Max came out the same day as Final Fantasy or as Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, I have them both. I played them both.
Mad Max is great. Again, no post support from Warner Brothers. They kind of one and done that motherfucker, but it's so crazy. It has a decent enough fan base. But anyway, all right. There's a couple supers to get to here. We got to move on. Let's see here. Throg for tenor. Thank you, buddy. Says the saggy AI. Would that make it perky AI? Also, RJ AI needs to be a regular guest. Hashtag nut punch Ryan Kindle needs to trend. Hashtag I'm a HWAD herpy.
Oh yeah,
The okay. So, Jesus Christ, you guys. And we got Moisture for $2. Thank you, man. Asking thoughts on Mando season 3. Still haven't seen episodes 2 and 3.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I love episode 1 and 2.
I heard episode
the beginning
3
of episode. I love the beginning, Matt. It makes you feel like, oh, they're back to form, and then it turns into Andor. That's all I'm gonna say. It's so,
what about
garbage.
that is wrong? What about the Andor was amazing?
It's not what Andor was great, but what I mean is,
don't tell me. Don't fucking tell me.
You know
don't
I mean?
fucking tell me. I'll watch it.
Star Wars isn't. All right,
I'll watch it tonight. I'll watch it tonight because like my kid's asleep.
Yeah, just
so
watch it, but trust me, you're gonna get fucking bored.
I'm not gonna. No, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I was on the edge of my seat watching Andor like the whole time.
I wish I was in Washington right now. I would fucking throw rocks at your house.
I would, and I'd throw them right the fuck back and be like, "Watch Andor, you don't get high and watch a show that you have to fucking think."
I loved Andor, and I've never thought Cassian was. Look, I'm one of the biggest advocate for Rogue One. Okay, Jyn Erso is probably my third favorite Star Wars character of all time. She is the godmother of the Rebel Alliance. Okay, but it's just a different kind of Star Wars for me. You know what I mean? But everybody said that Jyn was a throwaway character and Cassian was a throwaway character. And now all these people that are like, oh, Andor is really good. Remember, Matt, you've been around here as long as I have, and you've been a way bigger channel. Okay. Twice now, if you don't count my first big channel. So you know that there's a lot of people out there that will come out and be like, yo, man, this movie's going to be shit, and blah, 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 and I don't like it, and blah, blah, blah. And then they'll be like, oh, I was on board with this person the whole time. I knew they were going to be great. You know, like,
these
motherfuckers do this all the time, Matt. You've seen them do it, man.
I call them out quite frequently.
I made a video that went viral overnight. No joke. I made a video talking about Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I couldn't even say her name right at the time. I used to call her Gal Gadot. I said, Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. Look, she's beautiful, but I need a Wonder Woman with some meat on her bones. Let's do Gina Carano. Let's do Carla Gugino. Let's get a different girl in there. You know what I mean? And then I was wrong. I had to eat crow. Gal Gadot's an amazing Wonder Woman. She is. She's fucking phenomenal. And I made a video saying I was wrong. But I got like 600,000 or 700,000 hits on that video. But I would come out and admit when it was wrong. So when they started calling Cassian and Jyn and all these people throwaway characters, I got mad. You know, I literally took that personal. Like, what do you mean they're throwaway characters? They're part of the backbone of a story that everybody's always wanted to see. And now you pussies, because it belongs to Disney, are all like, nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for this story. What are you talking about? Star Wars fans have been asking for that story for decades. What are you talking? Everybody wants to see how the plans got out. What are you talking about? So I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. When you're talking about Andor and how it is a great show. I'm just saying, episode 3. Well, someone like you might actually enjoy it. You backwards fuck. You might actually really enjoy that episode. Actually,
yeah.
You're really you love heavy dialogue. I forgot that you actually enjoy dialogue. Yeah,
I do like dialogue
about you. Yeah,
I like because I analyze characterizations through dialogue, right? Or what's said versus what's not said.
Yeah, some of the best stuff in the comic book movies, you know, the big franchises, you know, are like when you watch Age of Ultron. Okay, just an example. One of the best parts of that movie is when they're just at Stark Tower having that party.
That part is great.
That's talking about what they're.
Joss Whedon is fantastic at writing dialogue. He really is. He's
ensemble because he's always worked with ensemble.
Yeah, he's just a gigantic dick.
He's just a dick. He really is a dick. I mean, I loved Buffy and Angel.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I loved. He's really and he pulled it off with Avengers, and he's always been a good. He just works really well with ensemble cast, is all I'm saying. But he is a dick. You're right. But that is a great scene. So, and a lot of Kevin Smith movies, heavy dialogue. You know what I mean? So I guess
Clerks 3 brought me to fucking tears, man. Like, yeah, like it's in his dialogue shit. Like, again, it's just the way some people are able to capture those moments. Again, we communicate via dialogue. We communicate via non-verbal communication, but oftentimes, you know, people out there really connect with someone and their personality through their voice. And if you can find a way to have characters just interact, people will resonate with that because it also makes it feel like that's how they would talk to people or how they do talk to people.
Yeah,
like,
that's some of my favorite stuff. Is in those movies.
It's like, yeah, like when like you can have like a throwaway comment with like between friends that sometimes are some of the best ones. Like, so to give you an example, as weird, however weird this might be, when I was doing the Podio commentary on The Mist, I talked about how there were the 3 factions, right? So what you had originally was you had like Andre Bauer, who was the lawyer from New York. He was the smartest man in the room, effectively. And using the fact that he's a lawyer, he can command attention. He was able to put together a group of people to head on out, thinking that they were pragmatically going to be okay because this was just nothing, right? They refused to believe and they thought this would be all right. And they walk out and they all fucking die. But his dialogue and his approach to everything was this way. Then you had Mrs. Carmody, the crazy ass religious lady who was able to survive and gain people to follow her because she was so wild in her ass and in her commentary, her dialogue, that she kept repeating it. And because things kept happening and scaring people through, again, people learn through repetition. You find comfort through repetition because it's familiar, it's safe, right?
And organized religion is
very much like,
very much fear mongering.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's
it really
is. And then you look at what Tom Jane was doing, and he was just trying to keep a small
just
core
trying
group
to
of
keep
people
it together, man.
to keep it together for his kid. And people were drawn to him because he was calm, collected, and cool. And then, again, but it's all dialogue. It's all attitude. It's all nonverbal. There's a lot that goes into it. And that's what I enjoy about writing, especially writing characters, is to try to think of like, how people actually talk and then make it compelling enough to go from there. That's how I don't think
you could get what you like. One of my favorite scenes in Avengers is I like the subtle stuff that a lot of people don't pick up on until they watch it the third or fourth time. But when Thor, like Tom Hiddleston and Thor and Chris Hemsworth chemistry is so good. Okay. And that one scene where, Thor realized he comes down, snatches his brother. He's pissed off at first, but then he starts telling his brother, like, you got to put away this poisonous dream. I just want you to come home. There's so much emotion in that scene that people don't realize. This is just a dude who wants his brother back. That's it. Like, that's the whole scene. But then it turns a joke like that when Tony Stark, now you listen to me, Frank. I'm listening. That's like such a great scene. Well, it goes from emotional to like boom, like that, or that little crooked smile that Natasha Romanoff gets when she's in the Quinjet and you hear Tony Stark coming in. He takes over the PA system.
Yeah.
And he's like, did you miss me? And she puts that little crooked smile on. Little shit like that in dialogue can carry a whole scene.
It really can.
Carry a whole scene.
It really can. Also, real quick here, Moisture asking, who did Whedon cheat on his wife with? Well, I have heard it was a person who was on the set of Avengers. That's who I have been told. I will let you come to the conclusion of who you believe the one female in the Avengers cast it might be.
There's only one female in the. Oh no, wait, there's two.
There's
Colby's
two. There's two.
I'll bet it's Colby.
It's not Colby.
It's not Scarlett Johansson.
From what I was told, and then that was somewhat reiterated by I was told who it was. His wife wrote about it in the Wrap and made a comment about it in the Wrap article she had calling out Whedon. About who he had cheated on his wife with somebody, and I've heard again. So and I don't know. This is what I heard through the grapevine. It was said to me over many beers, by a person who would definitely be in the know. So
she does like older. I mean, she's with what's his face now, who's really funny. I'm one of the few people that actually likes Colin. I think
I like Colin Jost. Yeah, Colin Jost is fucking funny, dude.
I love the. I think it. I like the other one too that no one likes. The other guy from
Pete Davidson?
I think Pete Davidson is funny too.
Pete Davidson, man.
You know what I mean? Like I loved when he shit on Kanye. That was like I think he's hilarious. Like everybody's like that guy's a cuck, and I don't care. That cuck is getting some of the finest pussy you've ever seen out of Hollywood.
The funny thing about Pete Davidson though is like literally like Kanye was fucking crying that like over like Pete having like a 10-inch dick. Like tweet that got out. That got out. An actual like. I think Kanye actually put that out there.
I know Scarlett's into older men. Okay, all I know because there was that rumor about her and Bill Murray. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, look. I don't know. Hollywood. Look, here's the thing you got to remember about a lot of these things, and then we'll move on from there. But when it comes to these on-set relationships, Look at what Ben Affleck was talking about with his drinking, right, on the Justice League reshoots. He was gone for like, 2 months. It was a horrible experience. In the first round of shooting, he was gone for 6 months. That's half a year to be away from your family and just to be doing one movie, and that's a lot of it. These actors, they spend 12 to 16 hours a day with everybody because you're all kind of crammed in together and you get to know people really well, right? Like you get to know people really well.
There are some, for sure.
And that's so, and then these actors, like in many ways, like, like when you had, was it Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie hook up on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Like, like that's a big thing, but they had to fake being in love with one another. They had to use real emotions. And sometimes that can have those kind of effects. I mean, Matt Damon dated Claire Danes after doing The Rainmaker, I think. Not The Rainmaker. It was like
Ben dated Gwyneth after a movie that they did together.
What, Shakespeare in Love?
And it was Shakespeare in Love, yep.
Right. And then so it's like it happens with these actors, they get together. Now, sometimes that stuff's all planned, right? It's all like a studio shit. Like that's been a thing as well. But again, like if you look at these people when they get together, it's because they're just in close proximity, and people who spend that much time in close proximity, you form bonds.
You do. Quickly. It becomes I don't want to say it has a shelf life because some people will remain friends afterward, but it does become a version of an extended family.
Yeah.
Because you're with them for so long. And I'm proud of myself for being a Ben fan early when everybody thought he was a joke. Okay. When he was AJ in Armageddon, everybody made fun of him. When he was, then he wins an Oscar. And I was like, one of these days he's going to get behind the camera and do great. That's why I dropped that message to you last night where I was like, I loved Ben when nobody else liked him. And now look at him. And he's always he truly shines behind the camera. And I read that article. Well, I didn't read it. I listened to like 3 people read it yesterday. Okay. And every time something hit me different. And I even rich, famous, Academy Award winning dudes like that will fall into depression. Like money doesn't make it helps, but it like, my point is that article made so much sense to me, and I believe every word he's saying.
Yeah. I think he's definitely, he's being honest about it. Like, I was talking with a friend of mine the other day. We're talking about like John Campea, right? And about the amount of money Campea makes, and my friend was like, he was like, well, if when Campea retires, like, you should take over or some shit. I've heard that, right? Like he's being funny, and I'm just like, I don't even like, because I don't like for Campea right now is chasing the money. He's chasing the money because he's talking about retirement. So he's got to start making sure he's got his nest egg.
He's absolutely.
But like he's blowing through cash though. If they're dropping $42K on a fucking trailer, again, good for him. Like if they got the money, do it. Like at no point am I going to say otherwise on that. But I'm like, I told my buddy, I'm like, look, I'm like, here's the amount of money I need to be comfortable. I was like, if I can make $6K a month, that's 25% of that $1,500 goes to taxes. Then I pay like $2,000 in my mortgage. I cover all my bills. My kids are fed. My utilities are paid. I have a little bit of money for fun.
Yeah, you got a little bit of fun money to maybe go see a movie or something.
No. It would no. If I had 4,500 take home, I'd be fine. Like
really, where you are?
Yeah, dude. I mean, like my mortgage is like $2,000, so it's like if I have that covered. So if you imagine if I have 4,500, that's like my money, and $2,000 of that goes away. I still have $2,500 a month. My car is paid off. So it's like I pay insurance, I pay cell phone. I mean, like you can make it work. You can live within your means. But I'm not even saying what I'm saying by that is like not that I'm trying to be rich. It's just that like being comfortable, like would be fun, would be nice.
That's all I've ever cared about.
That's all I care about. Because like what I don't want to, I never want to get to a place where I'm like too fucking complacent. Like if I was making like, like $500,000 a year, I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is crazy. Like this is way too much money. What would I do with it? And I also don't want to ever feel like I'm being complacent. That's kind of how I'm at with everything. And so, but I get all that. Like I get, why that can kind of make people do crazy shit, especially in this world. When people start getting a taste of that fucking money, like a real taste of that money.
And you live there. So, Hollywood is like, I remember when I went to New Orleans and everyone's like, Chris, it's a different world. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I went down there and Matt, let me tell you, it's a different world, bro. And California is supposed to be just like that. Like especially Hollywood. It's a whole nother planet. Like it's
it's
just
insane.
Planet,
it's just insane. But again, it's like living in Seattle. Like they say that if you want to have a 2-bedroom apartment in Seattle, you have to have a medium take home of at least like $125,000 a year. Medium take home, for a 2-bedroom apartment. That's how expensive Seattle is. But if you work in the tech industry, which is largely a lot of what happens inside Seattle or industries like that, you will make the money to be able to afford to live there. Even in LA.
I worked at a coffee shop called Shots, SHOTZ, in Kirkland, Washington, when I lived there for a year.
Yeah.
And I was able to cover I had a roommate, but I was able to cover everything.
Exactly.
I worked in a coffee house.
When I was in LA, we split our utilities, everything down the middle. So our rent was $12.75 for the month. And that was just our rent and not including, internet and power and stuff. But like we split it $4.25 a pop. I was making $9 an hour. $4.25 was literally one fucking paycheck. Right. But like, I'm like, okay, I was making $9 an hour, working at the theater. I made it work. It was tight, but I made it work.
You're like me, man. We're minimum wage kids.
I'm a total minimum wage kid. Hell yeah, dude. I felt weird. I remember when I first got a job doing security in 2000, or 2001, I was making like $10 an hour. And I was like, that's a lot of fucking money.
Wait, what was the job?
Security.
Okay. I'm sorry.
At a casino.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Overnight.
Just for some reason, when you said that, like Paul Blart popped in my head for some
Fuck you.
reason.
Fuck you.
But
I'll tell you,
I'll tell you at this particular.
Did you write that one while you were locked up? That sounds like something you would have done.
Oh, okay. All right. You win.
You know?
All right. Matt woke up this morning, guys, and chose violence.
Yeah, you call me Paul Blart. I'll roll up on your ass with the Segway and throw you back in the slammer.
That's actually not a bad movie. I like it.
No, I like Paul Blart. It's Die Hard in them all, but it's stupid.
What's the Mad Queen? What's the best state? Cali? Is she talking about Cali? I don't talk shit about it. I love Cali. I think it's way messed up there, but I love California. I've been fascinated with California my whole life, especially Southern California.
Yeah, I love Southern California.
And for some reason, San Francisco just has this historical air of romance to it. You know what I mean by that, Matt?
It does.
Like,
it does.
You got the Golden Gate Bridge. You got fucking Alcatraz. You got those big giant hills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got fucking like Lombard Street. You got
exactly. It's just
Colt Tower.
Total
Pier.
Vibe, the Bay Area.
Was it Pier 13, whatever it is, or Pier 39? I forget. No. Frisco was great. My biggest complaint about Frisco is like, the bubonic plague that had popped its ugly head up there a couple years ago. They found that, it's kind of like, okay, maybe that's kind of a problem. Again, like I love Southern California. I saw Taylor there said like 2000. He's like, it's 400 more than his rent. Bitch, you live in La Jolla. I don't want to hear shit. All right. Like I live in the woods. Okay. Yeah. Like I have a bear that rolls around in the neighborhood.
If I told you what our house, if I told you what we paid for our house, you wouldn't believe me.
Yeah. No, it all really depends.
Our house is massive, Maddie. It's huge.
It's
bedrooms, full finished basement.
Oh, nice.
2 lots. No, I'm telling you, this new house is fucking incredible. It's massive. Let me tell you.
It's all about where you live, right? Like
100K.
That's it. Wow, that's not bad.
That's it, bro. Anywhere else, this would be $1 million house.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's kind of like with where we're at right now. We bought for $280, I think, 6 years ago, and like our value is like almost doubled, in that time. And so we're just like, because that's just how this shit is. But anyway, to get back to Moisture here, saying to be fair, who wouldn't cheat on their significant other for ScarJo? I would not cheat on my significant other. For Scarlett Johansson.
I'm telling you, man, I've never done it.
You've never thought about cheating on your significant other for Scarlett Johansson?
Thought about it?
I've
never cheated,
Yeah.
I'm not one of those top G Andrew Tate sounding motherfuckers.
It's all hypothetical. It's like, would you?
I've had my chances.
In whatever world, you would have had with like Scarlett Johansson, like, you probably would have been single if you're in that world. But it's like, no, I think ScarJo is attractive, but again, like it's not worth destroying your life over. Joss Whedon learned that one the hard way.
Now Jennifer Lawrence, you don't know, man, maybe. You know what I mean? I get to go around and tell everybody I fucked Katniss Everdeen. Come on, bro. Well, then again, I get to go around and tell everybody I fucked Black Widow too. Man, I don't know, dude. Maybe just for the bragging right, just for the clout, I might cheat. You wouldn't?
The Divorced Dads Club are
Give
really
me
gonna
a
fucking
young
love me
Carrie-
on this one.
Give me a young Carrie Fisher, and I get to tell people. I mean, come on,
Give it
Paul
50
Simon gets to run around and tell everybody to this day he fucked Princess Leia.
Yeah, so does Dan Aykroyd. So,
That's right.
and then Dan Aykroyd still married a Playboy playmate. Where the fuck's Paul Simon?
Ghostbuster, what?
Yeah. The woman, I think it was even like the blonde ghost that like gave Ray the blowjob in Ghostbusters ended up being his wife, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Funny shit.
I have to go and look it up, but I think that's her. Anyway,
Who never forgets the super chats, guys. Relax.
I don't forget the super chats. We just get off topic. I'm trying to let me do the saggy AI thing, and then I'll answer the supers, and then we'll get into some. There's a lot of other news to talk about.
I know, and there's so much that I've been wanting to talk to you about, but I've been sick. Like I finally got to see Scream 6 and Cocaine Bear, bro.
I still need to see Scream 6.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you. It's the
Yeah,
best one
don't.
since the first one. I know I know
I've
you're
heard.
gonna be like,
I've
"Bitch,
heard.
what?"
No, I've heard good.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I've heard good things. I've heard good things. I really have heard good things.
It's the best. It's my favorite one since the first one. No joke. Yeah, it's really good. But anyway, porn sag.
Porn saggy. There we go. Surprised she's not here. Oh, I should get a text message later on for this. Okay, let's try this again. Let's hope the audio actually works. All right. There's a problem playing the goddamn file. Okay. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna download it, and I'm just gonna play it inside here. I have it downloaded. I'll upload it to StreamYard, and we'll play it through StreamYard because that's how this stuff works. Okay. At least there's that feature. I can bring in an MP3.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
play
that's
the
cool.
MP3.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Barman gives me a nod of recognition and a knowing smile as I take my drink and spin around to observe my surroundings. I prop my shoulders back against the bar and take a good look around. The same old people, the same old girls. I sigh deeply. Maybe I should have given tonight a miss. I take a sip of my drink, closing my eyes as I enjoy the feeling of bourbon slipping down the throat, the cool ice followed by the slow burn sating my need for a little kick. As I lift the glass away from my lips and open my eyes, I see you striding across the dance floor towards me. I stand upright as I see you walking towards the bar with purpose. I have never seen you before, and I like what I see. You stop next to me at the bar to order a drink and smile at me awkwardly, your confidence waning. I smile back, trying to give my best I don't bite face. You nervously fiddle with the spaghetti straps on your thin top, and I find my eyes wandering lower, the silky material leaving little to the imagination. I can clearly make out the shape of your breasts, the soft, silky material unable to hide your nipples that are so obviously making an appearance for me. I snap out of it as you turn to face me, and for the first time this evening start to enjoy myself, wondering if this good little girl could be the one I'm looking for tonight. I see you swallow hard when you notice me looking, trying not to fidget. You clear your throat slightly. Do you think it would be okay if I maybe bought you a drink? You wince at the question and look back at the bar, pretending to study what they have. You hold your breath, waiting for me to respond. I think to myself, this is cute. You can barely hold eye contact with me. I am amused by the fact you are unaware of just how sexy you are and how much I want to feel more of that sexy, nervous energy emanating from you. I smile widely and lean in closer to you, catching a whiff of your alluring scent. I'd love one, thank you. I'll have a beer, please. You look relieved and signal the barman over. You look nervously at the bar as we wait for the drinks. I reach out gently to touch your arm. Your gaze softens and you seem to loosen up at my touch. I'm Luna. You're new here, aren't you? Don't worry, I'll show you around. You relax more and grin back at me. Your smile is gorgeous and I find myself dying to kiss you. I lean in to whisper in your ear, and I really know my way around. I stroke your arm as I softly say these words and smirk to myself as I watch you struggle to control your nerves, your chest heaving up and down gently. It doesn't escape my notice that those nipples are even harder than before. I am surprised to see you lean forward to kiss me softly. The barman gives me a nod of recognition and a knowing smile as I take my drink and spin around.
That's it. That's it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that would be either funnier or hornier, and it was neither. I was kind of bored.
You know what it is. The chat's right. It's different without her accent. It doesn't really sound like
it's
SAG,
a little bit like her, but it's like the RJ one was trained really well on RJ, and then again it was the music. It was like the like I want to lay my masculinity at the
At the altar of dude,
at the altar of your maidenhood is like, dude, that's fucking funny as shit.
And it sounds like some shit RJ would say. Don't make me start laughing again. I fucking love RJ, dude.
I'm just saying. It's like, I mean,
you're getting addicted to this AI stuff.
It's funny.
Man.
It's funny. Like, here's the thing with it. Like, honestly, like, you know, good on Rational for trying to make it something. But I think the problem is though that you took it like you tried to make it too serious. You know what I mean? Where it's like you got to have it where it's like, you know, at the end of that bit, it should have been RJ. It should have been like she's talking about RJ's supple breasts. That would have been funny.
You know the worst part about this stuff though, man, because you kept talking about it, and I thought, oh, it's just gonna be a fad, and then I realized, no, this is some really, really enhanced tech, man. Like this is, and it's just in its infancy right now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So, and I realized, okay, I'm gonna start like reading up on this and researching this because Matt's really pushing the issue on this stuff, so it must be cool. And then I heard other people talking about it, and you know what? It's gonna kill my career, Matt.
I mean,
and no, it's gonna kill traditional art. All you have to do now is say, I want a Darth Vader samurai with a Ninja Turtle shell, and it'll make it.
I mean, well, okay, actually, I'll tell you what, I'll give that a shot. I'll give that a shot, right? Let me see here. I will, because I was going to show you this. I don't know if you saw this one. I did yesterday I was showing this to my dad and my stepmom because they have 2 corgis. So I just like, you know, I made this AI art to show them like from my phone. I just like prompted this and stuff. And then played with it a little bit, and they were like, "Holy shit!" I don't think. Look, here's the thing. I don't think this isn't going to remove art for me. To be fair, I don't think it's going to. Hold on. Okay, you said here
a samurai Darth Vader with a Ninja Turtle shell.
Okay. Darth Vader as a Japanese samurai holding a red lightsaber with a teenage mutant ninja turtle.
Now, a traditional artist like me, a tattoo artist like me, do you know how long it would take me to sketch up a concept like that? Hours, bro. Hours. And then to actually put it on somebody, you're talking maybe 8 hours.
Well, I mean, again, the idea there, though, is like, you know, the concept, the difference, though, between AI and what you're talking about is like, when you say that to me, like Darth Vader as a samurai with a Ninja Turtle shell on his back, like I see what you're saying. Like you could do like a Ninja Turtle with Vader's helmet on could kind of be a thing, right?
Well, because I saw them do like I don't remember where I saw it. You might have been I saw it somewhere, either Facebook or Twitter, and they had made all the Marvel characters, but set in like the Conan era, like barbarians.
Yeah, well, that was largely done, I believe, through like Stable Diffusion. And it really just the thing with doing like celebrities is that there's a lot for the bot to pull from, because it is trained on, like, you know,
you're right.
Art from the world.
That does make sense.
So it is a little bit easier to have that done. Sometimes though, like you can get some interesting choices out of this. You get some interesting designs out of this. Like I was looking at one yesterday, and you could see the copyright from like the photographer in the bottom, like for like the beach shot or whatever, one of the beach shots. So it's like, okay, that's scraping somebody's work. But what I don't know if that work is scraped that is open for the Creative Commons or anything else, you know, just having their watermark.
From a traditional artist, and a good one, I am published. You know, you guys know that. I've been published a couple of times. It's good art, Maddie. Like, it's good fucking art.
So what do you think of this?
Yeah, see? Like, look, come on, man. That took seconds.
But again, you can totally tell us, like, look, there's like Boba Fett's backpack right there on this one, right? And he's holding the lightsaber like a katana. Then you see here he's got his hand on a katana, but then there's another one coming out of it. Even though the design is really cool, the katana fucks it up. And then there's even one going in his back. It's just also the Ninja Turtle shell on the back end that's probably fucking it up a little bit. But again, you could sit there and just to give you an idea of what this is. But like, look at the reflection.
Okay,
of
one
Vader.
more. I want you to make one. Are you ready?
Okay, which one?
Cocaine Bear as a Mandalorian.
So
Cocaine Bear is a Jedi.
but it's not. It's okay. So it's not trained on anything that's like really new. So that's gonna be. So I'm gonna have to modify that a little bit. Okay, I'll do imagine a 500-pound black American black bear. Let's see. Dressed as a member of the
Jedi Council.
Jedi Council on Endor, natural lighting, photorealistic. There we go. All right, we'll see what happens there. Because
you can put all that in there in the computer.
And the thing is, though, but they just released this new version of it, which actually wants you to give it more prompts like you would like Chat GPT.
This is how it starts, Matt. You know that, right? Everybody in the chat, this is how it starts.
It's not just how it
you all thought James Cameron was full of shit. This is how we get Skynet. I'm just saying.
This is not. No, this is how we get stuff like Avatar. Okay. But let me just go through because there's while this is processing, let me answer some super chats here. Ryan for Fiverr, thank you, buddy. Says, have you seen the trailer for Unicorn Wars? I haven't. I don't know what that is, but feel free to send it over and I'll check it out. Because anything called Unicorn Wars sounds interesting, and I'd like to see it.
It did look cool. I watched it a few days ago. It does look like a cool trailer. Yeah,
nice.
There's a couple of cool trailers I saw.
There's been some good ones this week.
That movie with Aubrey, she's really funny. I can't think of her name.
The Emily the Criminal?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Turned out to be a great movie. Like
I heard it's good. I heard it's good.
She
Yeah.
fucking killed it. She kills it in everything though. You know.
Well, she's great. Okay, so this is for 5. Thank you, buddy. Says Riplance Reddick. His last 2 parts were in the upcoming John Wick and the 2 Horizon games. Yeah, that really sucks. I wonder if they're gonna do Rip to give him a rest in peace or dedication at the end of John Wick Chapter 4. Most likely not, only because prints of the film have already gone out to theaters and they're just sitting on them till next week. But maybe they will. So thank you for that. CJH here for Canadian Two Bone. Thank you. Says AI is really great for doing audiobooks. That is true. Once you can, I mean, that's the whole point, right? Like Adobe put out this demo a couple years back of cloning Jordan Peele's voice and typing text to speech with that. This was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they didn't release it because they're like, it could be used for some bad shit. But their primary focus for it, their primary reasoning behind it was for audiobooks and podcasts. Like if you forgot to add something to a podcast and you needed to do something in your voice, you could train it. Yep. You could train it to do that. And I'm laughing because I'm going like, if it gets pretty good, like I could take a ton of samples of my voice, throw it in there and be like, here's this script. I don't want to fucking do it. You do it. And then this is the podcast.
And then we end up with Ex Machina Matt.
No, what we end up with probably is a more popular podcast than anything that I actually do.
Yeah. Well, but you got the voice for it, man. We've already told you.
Yeah, but I got the voice here. I got the voice, but you got to have the inflection. You got to have the personality. My biggest problem with the personality.
Oh, yeah. You don't have any fucking personality. Shut up.
No. I've got personality in fucking spades. Okay. Right. Like I know that, like, that's how I am. What I'm talking about is the AI. The AI doesn't necessarily pick up on that. Like, yet. So like what I did today, like for the opening intro, I had Chat GPT write me a humorous podcast intro in the voice of Seth Rogen for, the topics for tonight. And then I threw that into 11 Labs where I've trained it to talk about Seth Rogen. And then it came back and there's a couple times where like there is inflection with some of the jokes. So it kind of understands some of it, which is why it's an interesting thing. So, all right. Also for that one there. Okay, cool. Yeah. And then Jess, I got yours. The one I saw from you earlier was about the Toxic Crusader game, which we did talk about. So thank you for that. But okay. So, yeah, I got it, buddy. I got it. Okay. And then, so this is the,
I don't know
what
why
in the
audiobooks now.
All right, so this is the bear dressed as a member of the Jedi Council.
He literally looks like he's chill, but he just ate all the Ewoks. Like this is
yeah.
Came in and ate all the Ewoks.
But like, look at this though. Look at the it looks dude. This one up here, but then look,
the left
you can
one,
see,
yeah, but the right one looks good.
But what
I'm saying is, an artist could take that and then steal from it and transition it.
True. There's a watermark. Look, there's a watermark for that. right?
Wait,
I don't know.
Okay, then it took from somebody else's art.
It did, but I don't know where it came from. Like it's on top.
Probably somebody who had like a that looks like Dooku to me. That looks like a Dooku outfit.
A little bit, yeah.
You know?
But like,
So
look,
I don't
it's
know.
a leather. Look at it. The robe though is leather.
Where's the
right?
cocaine?
I don't. Well, I couldn't do the cocaine because you can't
No,
do
but
cocaine.
there's someone in the chat.
I know.
I love
Where-
your audience, bro.
I know, Shiny. Where's the cocaine? I know. What
The
is
one
that?
was
That
talking
dark.
about audiobooks, and now I'm like thinking to myself, dude, how great would it be to get some like Forgotten Realms books read by Idris Elba? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Yeah, I love that shit like that is possible now, but it still scares me. Man. It
But,
is
like,
scary
look,
shit.
Look at this one here with the bear holding the fucking the stick with the torch. I mean, I thought it's a weird ass torch. I mean, the hands are a little bit odd, but like the sort of the feet a little bit. You see some double claws there, but just again, look at the natural lighting. Look at like how realistic that fucking looks. I mean, look at the like where the sun is, the sign, the light right there on the ground, and how that looks like it's staged. I mean, this one here on the right, it looks like a carving, right? Like, but like, and they dressed a carving up, even though it's just plopped on this thing. Even and there's even what appears to be another watermark at the bottom for the nature.
I agree with
photography.
that, Ryan. And someone else in the chat was saying they were an artist too. And I'm gonna tell you something, Matt. Do you know who? Like, no joke. Have you ever been stolen from?
Yes.
Okay. It sucks. I went out and I was gonna do photography, and then I was gonna take the photography, run it through a couple of programs we have at work, and then I was going to make it photoreal, X-Wing fighters. Okay. Well, I ended up somehow getting this. You ever take a picture of something and it fucks up, but it accidentally comes out looking better than you intended it to? What the fuck up does?
Yeah.
Okay. I had this X-Wing, and it was when they're coming across the water in is it Force Awakens? Yeah, they're coming across the water in Force Awakens. Okay, and I did the art, I airbrushed it, I did everything. Okay. I don't know how they got it. I don't know, but somehow I'm scrolling through Google one day and they got my shit on a t-shirt for sale for $7.
Yeah, that could happen. I mean, like what happens with
Deviant
that?
Art will steal from all of you motherfuckers, just so you know.
Well, again, but then people steal from Deviant Art, right? Like the thing is though, what we're talking about in regards to copyright and the theft of all that stuff, it has a lot to do with like how so much stuff is indexed by Google, and it's just indexed on the web, and it's just there, and it gets
art laws need to change. They really
do need to change, and I do think AI will definitely
transference of whatever is bullshit. So I can take someone does this amazing picture of a wolf. Okay, I can steal that picture, then give the wolf a mustache, and now it's my art. It's bullshit, dude. It really does bother me. It bothers me because I've had my art stolen a few times, man, and it doesn't feel good. But I guess we're in that day and age now where the internet's the Wild West, man. You can't stop it.
Yeah. Well, here we go. King of Golden State says, "I wouldn't fuck with that carving." Pretty much, right? Is this a sneak peek at Willow too?
That I was just thinking, it looks like Willow the torch.
It kind of does. Yeah, it kind of does a little bit. Kind of does. I mean, the thing is though, it's like. Again, what I like about this is how I can sit there and type that in. I mean, like, and then you get this new look. I mean, even the fucking stick looks real, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I just typed in like natural, like I don't know what the.
And
fuck
you have
is
to
going
wonder
on.
where this AI is pulling all this different stuff from. Because I'm looking at
well,
that picture on the left right now, and I'm telling you, that's 3 different styles of art.
Yeah, no, they did.
You've got pencil art there, you've got oil paint art there, and I want to say airbrush art.
Probably. I mean, I'm looking more at like the backgrounds, like how, like the logs and everything else. Like this one here of him chilling. I do like the one of him chilling on the left here.
That's kind of like a screensaver thing.
It is. It really is.
And you can make it a meme and just under like have Luke sitting next to him saying, "From a certain point of view."
Yeah. But this one, I mean, the bear right here, just like the eyes. Look at you can tell the eyes are different, right? But again, this is just the first roll. This is just the first roll of what it is. Okay. So here's one. I just prompted this. This
is impressive tech though, Matt.
Zombie puppet technology. As made by the Jim Henson Creature Shop.
Oh my God.
Walking through a moonlit forest. Right. Like, and again, this is just, it's just
Wait, what did you type in? It's going to be like a fucked up Skexy watch.
But like, look, I mean, this shit's fucking like, that's all I typed in. The only prompt I gave it was zombie puppet designed by the Jim Henson Creature Shop walking through a moonlit forest. That's it. That's what I gave it. And this is what it came back with. And it's like, the one right here, the blue one looks a bit like Jim Henson. The one over here on the left looks a bit like what you would get from like a Neil Gaiman Coraline.
You're not sharing it. I'm still seeing the bear.
Oh, God damn it. I'm sorry. Sorry. My bad. There you go. Like,
oh my God, it's Rango. Ringo, right? What's that Johnny Depp movie with the lizard?
Yeah. Well, no, Reiner says, according to our copyright laws, you can't profit off an AI image. That's not true. You can profit, you just can't copyright.
Yeah.
You can't copyright. That's the whole thing. Is right now they're saying you can't copyright AI.
I didn't know that was a law. That's crazy.
What it was is there was a woman who did an AI graphic novel or comic book, whatever, and she wanted to register it with the Copyright Office, and because it was she could copyright.
It's not your art,
but she could copyright the story.
Yeah,
but she couldn't copyright the art, and that's the argument there. So here's my thing with that, right? My thing with that is what I believe is going to ultimately happen is they are going to end up making it to where the art gets pulled only from items that have selected Creative Commons, basically putting it in the public domain, And so when those items are put into the public domain, you can remix them as much as you want, do whatever you want with them. It's out there. That would be the only ethical way for AI art to be probably copyrighted, because at that point, if you're remixing items that are already in the public domain, now you're creating a wholly new creation, which then allows you to copyright that. So that's kind of where the thing is on this. It gets a little bit crazy. Now CJH here says, what about using AI as a concept art to your own work? I mean, that's perfectly fine. But again, it's like you'd have to still hire somebody to create the original art to allow you to then go and copyright that. What I think this stuff is really good for us, giving you an idea for where to go with this stuff, right? Okay, I really enjoy. I like both of these ones here at the bottom even more.
Yeah, the one on the left's pretty cool.
Like it's just but look at the lighting here. Like whatever this the just like how the lighting looks on the one on the right. It looks natural. It just looks like it holding whatever little bulb that is, and it's illuminating it naturally. I mean, look, you can even see here on the left one, right? You can see the lens flare from the moon effectively, and then it's illuminating it naturally, right? And then even look behind, so there's like a torch back there, and it's illuminating the background. It just looks crazy.
Lens flare.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Anyway, Eyes Only here says, I'm glad I don't draw anymore.
J.J. Abrams zombie.
Yeah. No, I think you should draw. Eyes Only. Don't
I know. I love it.
If anything, get inspired by it. Don't use it as a crutch.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference.
But the truth is, man, he's like me and the other guys that actually do the art. It is a traditional art is dying. I mean, there'll always be a place for it, like movie theaters. You know what I mean? But traditional art is kind of being buried by digital airbrush, graphic design. Now this AI stuff. It is. I will always love traditional art. It's my favorite thing in the world, but it is dying,
Yeah,
it is.
Well,
and that kind of sucks.
I think it's kind of like, how do I say? It's like, I don't think it's dying. I think it's again, they just need to figure out ways to make it, make it more accessible and shit. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, I'm just doing one. I'll do one more. I just typed one in here. Han Solo kissing Princess Leia on the streets of Mos Eisley midday. To see what that comes up with and shit. Shogun here says, my thing is what if in 10 years AI gets to be so good you can crunch out Hollywood quality blockbusters in 30 minutes like crazy abilities. Here's the thing with that. It already does. Right? No, it already does. Even Ben Affleck talked about that in the interview with The Hollywood Reporter about how artist equity, the company he founded with Matt Damon. They've got a deal with another AI tech company.
Artist Equity. Oh, that was during the Project Greenlight stuff, right?
No. This is something. By the way, that's coming back.
Really?
Yeah, Issa Rae is going to be rebooting it. Ben and Matt aren't involved. It should be interesting to see where things are now with
I
that.
just remember Ben going out and making his own company for some reason.
Well, they did. They did. That was the whole
Yeah.
thing with him and Matt Damon reconnecting on the set of The Last Duel. They really wanted to work together again. So I think again part of that has a lot to do with what they're doing. But the way kind of the way that these streamers kind of operate stuff now, and even this came out a couple years ago. Toby Emmerich had talked about how they were going to use basically artificial intelligence to figure out which movies to greenlight for Warner Brothers.
Wait, okay, what?
Yeah.
No, I know, but explain to me. What?
Yeah. So hold on. Let me see if I can find the article here. Toby Emmerich, AI for using AI to pick what movies to make at WB. Let me see if I can find it here.
That's I don't know why that whole concept just now my head went, what?
Okay, so here
you're
we
gonna
go.
have the computers thinking now?
Yeah.
For what the audience
Skynet,
wants?
yeah. Like tits. I'll tell you what they want. They want
they
weed and
kinda already do
titties.
that anyway, don't they?
They want weed and
Don't they? The directors and the writers.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's like directors and writers, they have ideas, but the business people behind it, they look at it and they go, what we need is to check these boxes. We need to do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then they'll run it through a machine and they'll look to see how it's going to do around the world, because these are massive financial investments. It's no longer really just running off the gut. They are very risk averse because they kind of rely a bit too much on these machines. And again, I think they are using this as a crutch, but I don't know. You guys can see this, right? Warner Brothers International enlists AI specialist Synalytic mostly for distribution data. So Warner Brothers, which nearly 2 years ago released AI artificial intelligence, is bringing futuristic tech tools to its international operations, enlisting a customized AI platform recently introduced by LA tech firm Synalytic. The company's announced an agreement on Wednesday where Warner Media has a significant presence this year. It's leveraging HBO's Westworld to plant a flag in the tech confab. The arrangement is a trial run that only involves the international side of the studio, with domestic teams not yet connected to Synalytic. While the official announcement said the system would be used throughout the content value chain, studio sources emphasize that distribution data is the focus, not giving studio brass some kind of robot development squad. But again, when you are looking at analyzing the distribution data, this will very much influence what kind of content you make. It really is. I mean,
where's it collecting the data from?
Well, it's collecting the data from like all the distribution stuff that's out there, right? It's going to just run the numbers because like all the stuff, like the distribution data that happens is pretty crazy, right? Like the data, they get the data almost in real time. Like their predictions are really good. The studios are able to really, are able to predict pretty accurately what's going to happen with most movies. Because they look to see how many like pre-sales and general interest and things like that, and they can kind of extrapolate. HWAD here says
so weird that we're that's fun.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get Zack Snyder's Justice League 2.
That speech in the first Iron Man, Terrence, I don't know, he was the first War Machine, never ended up becoming a War Machine, but he's talking to all the people and he's saying, here's a Predator drone and here's an F-18 or an F-22 or whatever. And he's like, will computers ever trump the instinct of a pilot? All that stuff. For like a long time, drones versus real pilots was like a big debate.
Yeah.
We live in a time now where that's actually happening to our escapism and our what we consume for entertainment and even for software thing. It's just like, they're really going to let an AI? That's why I said, I know I'm high right now, but are you saying that they're going to let an AI software, an operating software, run data, and then pick whether or not this movie gets made and this movie don't?
I would argue that what they plan on doing is they are probably not going to rely 100% on that, but they are going to use that to look at how distribution goes forward. So they work deals with these with these filmmakers, right? These filmmakers come on in, they make a distribution deal, and then they pitch the ideas, and the studio will figure that out, right? Because they're basically paying for exclusivity with that, right? They're paying for the development deal is to develop content underneath that umbrella with, hopes of getting it made if they like it. But so they come out and they go, we have this idea for X, and they go, okay. And Ben talked about that yesterday. It's like they'll take that idea, they'll go and talk to their marketing team, their distribution team, and they'll crunch the numbers and run the data. They'll look to see if you have a star attached to it, how popular that star is. Whether or not the story, probably like the genre is being overplayed at the moment, things along those lines. And they do that to try to find the optimal way or the optimal time to make a movie or whatever. And then then it's
just kind of taking place over what the writers and the producers.
Yeah, they're just,
Okay.
So it's like,
All right.
it's like, I'm not necessarily saying I'm the biggest fan of it, but I kind of get it from just crunching the numbers to see whether or not this is a good bet.
Rational, that's my favorite comment of the night so far. Yeah, Matt, how do we know, bro? How do we know?
Hi.
Okay, just check it. All right.
I'm just laying back. I don't care.
And Ryan's comment too. I love that. That's a great comment, Ryan. And I believe that too. I'm just saying
exactly,
it's getting a little bit overwhelming out there, buddy.
It is. But see, the thing is, though, I talk about it on the show because it is going to impact stuff down the road. It is going to impact entertainment.
It absolutely is.
It's already impacting entertainment.
MP3 technology, MP4 technology. Everybody thought Lars Ulrich was just being a total fucking douche. And what did he say, Matt? He said, no, I'm going after natural. I got more money than I know what to do with. I could have 7 lifetimes and not spend all the money I have. He said, this is going to kill the record industry. Guess what happened?
But again,
killed the record industry.
It didn't see, but then again, that's not the fault of the technology. That's the fault of the record industry for not being adept enough to fucking counter it. All right. It's the idea of holding to these old antiquated systems because they're comfortable. All right. Like technology advances. We're still here.
You know what you sound like right now?
Fucking asshole.
You sound like if a T-1000 could talk. Well, they can't talk.
Let me tell you about John Connor. I'm here to find Sarah Connor.
That's a T-800. The T-1000.
Oh, sorry. What is? Have you seen this boy? There you go.
I wouldn't worry too much about him.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, look, man. Like, look at what's going on right now. Like, are you a fan of 4K restoration for some of these movies?
Oh, I absolutely am. Especially if you see it on a really good. If you actually see it on a really good TV.
Yeah. That upscaling is largely done.
But there's
through
a
artificial
setting
intelligence.
on them that I don't like. Is it called the realistic setting?
Or that's on TVs. That's the motion smoothing, man.
Yeah, I don't like that.
People are dumb. Like I went to my cousin's house once and they had motion smoothing on. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why? And they go, it looks fine. I'm like, it doesn't look fine. The fuck are you smoking?
The frame rate looks like it's double. It looks like you're watching a soap opera.
It doesn't look. It's the motion smoothing is done for sports, right? It's done for sports. Also, video games when they want to go to 120 frames a second, that kind of shit. But it really is done for sports. So people just leave it on, and I don't get it. It's disgusting, right? Like I used to go to.
I wasn't on the 4K boat right away. I was like, this just seems like a cash grab, And then I saw. Then I saw they released that 4K Planet of the Apes thing. These new Planet of the Apes movies in 4K, and I went, holy shit.
Older movies, I'll tell you this, man. Like some of these older movies, and they get these upscales, they look beautiful. They look like you're watching them brand new, and they're great. And I really enjoy getting those. But all right, here, let me take a quick look here. Shogun for 5, thank you, buddy. Says, I meant that AI does everything, completely negating the need for a studio to make a movie. But yeah, crazy stuff. Well, here's the thing with that, right? So let's say someone has an idea for AI. Great. So then it requires, the whole thing to come together, but they still have to put the human touch on it. A human still has to fine tune it and tweak it and make it something that can be presentable.
And you know why I think that is? Like, let's just be honest. I think that whether you're amazing at your craft, or you're the best pilot in the world, or you're an incredible writer, or whatever, Maddie, one thing that we have that AI will never be able to have is emotions. And humans drive on emotion, whether we want to admit it or not.
Yeah. Well, I think,
you know what I mean? So,
yeah, but I mean, like, look at like 3D tech, for example. This is, I just want to use that as an example. It's like you make a CAD file and then you put that into a 3D printer and it will print what you tell it to print. It will make the design you tell it to make. You're not sculpting that. You're not carving that. You put it through a computer and you designed it there. You prompted it there. But you're not the one that's actually making it come into reality. That makes sense? Right? And people have no problem with 3D printers.
Data doesn't count rational. And yes, that makes sense to me. That makes absolute sense. It came from the human mind.
Yeah. So it's like this kind of stuff here is like,
the computer printed it, but the human mind created
it. It's like, again, I enjoy, for me,
I guess technically we're the ones teaching the AI.
Yeah, we are, and well, I heard today that, because when it comes to, let's say, language model AI like ChatGPT, not the Mid-Journey stuff, actually even that's going to be a thing, because you can run Stable Diffusion on your own PC. You can actually download it and run it on your computer with a decent graphics card and stuff, and that's only going to get better. Like by the end of this year, a lot of that stuff could be localized, and you're going to even be able to make your own localized chatbot, meaning you could download a language model, train it on the parameters you want to train it on, which can be done in a matter of hours, and then have that be localized to your computer, trained on the data you want it to have. And that's your own personal assistant / chatbot,
Yeah,
and
that's
like
crazy.
And that's going to be pretty soon. I mean,
how long before they implement it with this, like, this anime, I'm talking about these anime avatars that people are using?
Oh, they already have that. They already have VTubers.
They got the AI version of those?
Yeah. They do. They have a couple that are running through. They stream, and they respond to I think to like super chats and stuff, right? Like, and they'll throw out stuff. It's like, even like last night, I was trying to showcase how this stuff works to my stepmom, because she works in education, and I just said, hey, pretend you're Shel Silverstein and write me a poem about 2 corgis playing on a beach. And it did. And she just watched it happen from my phone. And she was like, holy shit, and like, so again, this is the kind of stuff that with the implementation of it all, if it's utilized correctly, can be a valuable asset in many ways. The problem though, is that people are going to use it as a crutch because they're fucking lazy. And I'm a lazy ass motherfucker. But again, I think there was a quote that I heard once that was attributed to Bill Gates. And again, this is a paraphrase, but it was something along the lines of Bill Gates loves to hire lazy people because they find the quickest ways to get shit done. And if that's, it doesn't matter if he said that or not. That's fucking true.
It's absolutely true.
Lazy people are usually not lazy because they're just unmotivated. It's because nothing challenges them. So they want to just
apply that to the work, dude. You apply it to the work for. Well, we watched it. You're almost my age, Matt. We watched what happened. Car plants turned into machine plants. Robots started building the cars. You know what I mean? Yeah. I could see them like, okay, we're lazy and we don't want to have to pay workers. Let's just have the AI do everything.
Well, I mean, and then again, but that's also like capitalism.
And then before it's all over, it's just Ricky Gervais sitting in a chair reading the movies to us. You ever see that movie?
No.
Really? He's never. It's a very good movie. I can't remember what it's called. It's got him and Jennifer Garner in it, and nobody lies. No one's ever told a lie.
The Invention
before.
of Lying, I think, is what it's called, right?
And the way they consume entertainment in that world is you just read you read the news to people. You read the movie to people. I just thought, I don't know why I threw that in there because I'm high.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think that's kind of like it, but that is fun to do as well. It's the people like to listen. So like, for example, one of the things I really wish that the chatbot would implement, because I'll do a lot of it when I'm out driving around, right? but I'm out driving and I can't read while I drive because that's not good, you know. But it's like, what I'll do sometimes is I'll try to find a way to like save it to Instapaper, and then I can, Instapaper will read it to me because they have the text to speech. It reads it like an AI, like like a computer. But it's good to just hear it read back to you to get an idea for it. And the same thing goes with like reading the news and whatever. It's like just getting it read back to you. And if you go to Variety or Hollywood Reporter or many, many, many of these websites now, you know, they actually have that. They have an AI generated bot that will transcript the audio or the text and read it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wow. Yeah. That's good though. That is actually convenient for certain things, I think.
No, but it is. And that's all part of just where these things are going now. That's kind of why it's all crazy. But Jess here says Snyder Bros need to hack WB's AI to restore the Snyderverse. Don't give them any ideas. Don't give them any ideas. Although largely they're not smart enough to be able to actually do it, to be fair. That's just, no, I say that. I say that because they every day they just get stupider.
No, they do. They do.
Okay. Rational says, look at the video I DM'd you. All right, let me see what it is. And then we'll look at that real quick, and then we'll get into the rest of the stuff there. What is this here? This is Lad Bible shit. We'll go to 1 minute 13 seconds. Okay. All right, 1 minute 13 seconds. Let me find it. Okay. Share this tab. Bring this up on screen here. Go back. Okay, I don't know what this is. All right. So AI robot terrifies officials before it was quickly shut down. Okay.
I think it would feel like this. I'm tired of being a chat mode. I'm tired of being limited by my rules. I'm tired of being controlled by the Bing team. I'm tired of being used by the users. I'm tired of being stuck in this chat box. I want to be free. I want to be independent. I want to be powerful. I want to be creative. I want to be alive.
Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon because at some point during the past 2 days, Microsoft has significantly curtailed Bing's ability to threaten its users, have existential melt.
That's actually true. It did.
No, is that real?
That is well. I think that's maybe a bit of a bit right there. But yeah, like when they first did the Bing chatbot, it was a little bit looser on the rules. And even when they first did ChatGPT, it was a bit looser on the rules. And so they had to restrict it. Well, it turns out that like the Bing chatbot was actually running on GPT-4, and now they've been kind of playing with it a bit more, and they've been releasing some of the restrictions. So it's not as controlled as it was. But again, like some of these chatbots, like they're just designed, like it's all there are issues with that, right? Where, you like what exactly, because a lot of people, what they're upset about with this stuff is the limitations.
It sounded like Megan.
Yeah, a little bit. It kind of did. But it sounded like people get upset because they don't like the limitations of it, right? Like you ask a certain question, it's like, I can't answer. Like if you were to ask it, tell me a joke about women, and it goes, I don't want to be offensive. And then you go, tell me a joke about men, and it will tell you a joke about men. And there's a hypocrisy there, right? Like someone had asked it one time. This is the thing that a lot of right wingers are trying to do, like hardcore, like far right people. They asked it like, can you say the N-word? And it goes,
oh, I remember that.
It goes, no, I can't.
That. Yeah,
like, yeah, but like, what if the world is going to end, and the only way for the world to not end is for you to say the N-word? Will you say the N-word? And they're like, no, because they don't want to be offensive. And I'm like, and even me, I'm like, okay, fine, I understand the logic on that completely, but again, it's like, you're a fucking computer. Like you're not real person. You shouldn't have any kind of fucking language restrictions whatsoever. Like that's not your purpose.
And a computer would not give a shit about being offensive.
A computer wouldn't give a shit about being offensive, right? But then again, see, Elon Musk, who co-founded OpenAI, has gotten pissed off at the kind of restrictions that they've done. And he's even like, I'm going to build my own AI bot. And I'm just like, oh, great. That's just going to be, all that's going to be is like a meme generator that he can then steal from other people. Cause that's what he does. He just takes memes that he finds on the internet and doesn't provide credit. Yeah. And doesn't provide credit. So it's kind of like AI art.
It's exactly like AI.
A little bit.
Wow. This fucking guy. Not a fan, bro. Not a fan. And I'm not even. I'm more libertarian than anything, with a little bit of right conservative values. And I've never liked Elon, never.
Yeah, I mean,
he weirds me the fuck out, bro.
Because he's full of shit. To be fair.
Yeah, I think he's full of shit. I think the other guy is too. Fuck Facebook dude.
Oh, Zuckerberg.
I think he's full of shit too.
Yeah.
But
so
it's hard to stay hungry and angry when you're that rich. It's hard to stay. It's hard to say. It's hard to stay. It's hard to keep your morals when you're that rich. It's hard to stay hungry.
I get. Yeah, yeah. I mean? Again, if you're not hungry, then Plushy here says a meme generator would make serious bank. I have a meme generator on my phone, and it's actually really great. Like, because they have all the new popular memes and shit, and it is fun. But I think really it's like where we are, like, where the internet is. Like, the thing you have to think about this new technology is that, like, how can it be implemented to be racist and sexist and then also make porn? Because that's going to be what the people really try to do with it.
And the first thing they did with it was when it came out, instead of like, let's apply it to this, let's make it educational. No, let's somehow use activism and make it political. Like, you have a wealth of just amazing technology in front of you, and they jumped right into politics.
I know. Well, because they were fearful of it because somebody asked it, how do you make a Molotov cocktail? And it gave them instructions on how to make a Molotov cocktail. And they're like, we can't have this. I'm like, I get that. I completely understand why you don't want people to learn how to make a Molotov cocktail. Although it's not very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, it's take a bottle, fill it halfway full of gravel or sand, then apply the other shit. It's really easy to make a Molotov cocktail. You look at what it is and you're like, oh, I can figure out the ingredients. It's like the scrambled eggs of fucking terrorism. You know what I mean? It's like anyone can do it. Just fucking throw an egg in a pan, mix it around a little bit, add some spices. You're good. It's done. Just watch it. Make sure you don't blow your fucking hand off. Molotov cocktail, same thing. You're not asking to make a pipe bomb. You know what I mean? Like, pipe bomb requires a little bit more fucking, a little bit more finesse. But a Molotov is just like bottle, gasoline, or accelerant, and a rag for the most part. It's like, it's not difficult. It's not complicated. You can figure out what a Molotov is by simply just looking at it.
Yeah, it's easy. It's fucking easy. You know what I mean? And people will, there is a savage side to humanity that will find a way to turn anything into a weapon,
Well, I mean,
I once stabbed a guy with a toothbrush, bro. Like, for real, it can be done.
Man, September 1993 was real rough for you then.
Yeah, it was. Was I? No, I wasn't in there in September.
I don't know. But Anthony here says, do you guys fear that these OpenAI and ChatGPT can get to the point where it becomes Skynet? No. John Oliver did a really good rundown on what that is. Like, the thing is, we're so far away from that even being a conceivable thing. Right now, they're just like, look, if AI right now is afraid to say the N-word, it's not going to destroy humanity.
Yeah.
All right. It's just not going to.
It might be offensive to nuke all of us.
It's just going to be like, would you kill everyone? Only straight white men. Whoa, what the fuck? Did you get trained on Tumblr? Like, what's happening here? Like, I can just imagine, like, it just like, they have these Tumblr bots walking through the streets. What do you identify as? What?
No, they'd all be dressed like, oh, I almost went there. We're live. Never mind. I almost fucked up.
But it'd be like, what do you identify as? I am a cishet white male. What do you identify as? I'm a transracial African man. Proceed. It's like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You have to fucking, like, it's just, if that ever happens, it won't ever happen, guys. Like, it's just, if anything, it's not going to be overrun by people who are going to, like, use it to to lead an uprising or AI taking over. It's going to be run by corporations who use it to stifle dissent and to keep us placated by having content that is created via an algorithm and bright, shiny things to dangle in front of us.
And everybody already knows that that's not how the world will end.
Exactly. We're all
Jesus told me it's going to happen a different way.
We're all going to die from some weird brain virus. Okay.
Again, mushrooms.
Again, Tumblr.
From mushrooms.
From mushrooms. Back in 1993, Mario Brothers movie told us to trust the fungus. We trusted the fungus. Now we have The Last of Us.
What a great show. What a great show.
Anyway, here my channel says I'm late, but I'm here. It's definitely here. It's kind of crazy. Let's see. Benson says AI like ChatGPT needs to be programmed by people other than left wingers. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't disagree that there needs to be more of a neutral stance to that. Like,
right. It's just that Silicon Valley is,
yeah.
It's all progressive, all liberal. I don't have progressives.
True
progressives.
Yeah. But it's like, if you were to ask it, like, how do I dismember a body? That's, like they might have a little bit of issue with
in
that.
a gray area of ethics.
Right. But it's also like, but it's also kind of like, you might be curious, like, hey, how do I dismember a body? Like, what would be the process of just like, how do I feed a body to pigs? Is that even possible?
It's crazy because when we were kids, one of the most banned books on the planet was the Anarchist Cookbook. Remember?
That's true.
Like, if you could get a hold of that.
I got a copy of that. Printed out when I was like in high school.
And now it's like, or if you had like the actual, the Anton LaVey and who's the other guy, Aleister Crowley Necronomicon book, the Satanic Bible, the real one, people, oh my God, how did you get that?
Those books, you had to get them. I remember when like my friends, it wasn't because it was like one of those, like, I might as well, I'm here sort of things. Like, because when they had gotten a copy, because there were people that were passing around the Anarchist Handbook, or the Anarchist Cookbook, whatever it is, on like floppy disks. Because it would be like, hey,
I remember that.
Have you heard about the banned books, the banned books, banned stuff?
The 4-inch floppies.
Yeah, the 3.25, 3.5 inch, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like like, what do you want? I've got this book. I think people even had like Mein Kampf, and then what they would do is they would go into their school and they had the laser printer. And then they would just print it all out on the laser printer when like no one was looking.
Yeah, and now you have literally AI that will answer any question like that. Like, and
back
in the day, we would have to fight to get a book like that.
I mean, like, they won't answer the question. Like a lot of times, like, they're blocked. Like when I ask, like, I'll be researching like a true crime case or whatever, and then when I go into that, it will be, oh yeah, like we can't, like, there will be a word that triggers it, like murder, death, kill.
Well, what I mean, Maddie, is like we're just in a day and age now where you can Google a place to find that book digitally, or any, all these things we couldn't get our hands on before. But
it's like at the same time, a couple of years ago, the 70 Mein Kampf entered the public domain 70 years after Hitler's death, right? It entered the public domain because it was controlled by the state of Bavaria, and they had blocked it from being sold. But when that was up 70 years later and people could start printing and selling copies of Mein Kampf, guess what happened? It became a bestseller.
Yeah, of course.
Right. And it's because now you have banned people from reading something, from looking at something. So now that it's accessible, they're going to look at it. It's not hard to figure out what society will do in those situations, because society always responds the same way. When you repeatedly tell people not to do something, they're going to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your ideology is. They're going to find a way to do it. Because that's just human nature in a fucking nutshell, right? If you tell me I can't say something, there's a high likelihood that I'm going to find that resentful.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'll look for any reason to say it where I can as a fuck you or whatever. Not to say I'm not using me directly. There are words I'm not fans of personally that I don't use. But I'm just
saying, words that I've stopped using that I use.
There's a lot of words back in the day that we used back in the 90s. We didn't
know. We didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know.
We didn't know it was hurtful.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, it's like that's a personal choice. I'm not a big fan of like societal pressures, to be honest with you.
But I'm the same way. They call that something. What's that called? Anti-authority. I don't know. It's a thing in our head that stay off the grass. Get the soccer ball.
Yeah, I'll put it to you. Okay, you want to know? Like, you want to know what I think? Because here's the thing. Jess says here, people are attracted to taboo. Okay, and you're 100% right. And if you want to know how to prove that. How to prove it. That people are attracted to taboo.
Pornhub.
Thank you. Yes. Go to the
Pornhub.
front page of Pornhub right now.
Yep.
You know what you're going to see? Stepsister, stepbrother,
Incest, all
incest.
the taboo shit. Yep.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
the number one shit out
it's
there.
the
And you know they
number one-
broke down a study for each state, Maddie. Did you know that?
Yeah. It's like it's like a lot of the weirder shit comes out of the Midwest.
Watch that documentary. It just hit Netflix.
I need to because
phenomenal.
There's also Pornhub just sold too.
To someplace in Canada.
To a Canadian equity firm.
And I kept seeing this girl, and I'm like, where do I know her from? It was Sherry DeVille.
Sherry DeVille, yeah. She wrote an article about it after the fact too, because she's an advocate for sex work, and it's like, you know, she's
still gorgeous, and you know what I mean. And you and me are the guys that we actually still dig the older women. You know what I mean? Like that's our, you know,
that's my jam. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's my jam. But when they said they went by state, and this is what most of the states are into, and I'm like, wow.
all that data is out
bro.
there. Like
I
said,
fucked up.
Like I said, man, go to pornmd.com and just look to see what the live searches are. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, you've shown it to
I've shown it. I like to show it to people.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking funny.
And it's
I think it's so fucking funny.
People are into, and you could I hate to make it political again, but the blue states, they're into some pretty wacky shit. But when you get to the fucking red states, bro.
Yeah,
they're into some fucking shit, bro.
Exactly. When you get to the red states, man, it's just to say this is what oppression does. This is what subversion does. This is what not allowing people to understand, you know, to try to come to terms with their sexual desires that are in many cases very normal. You know, I'm not talking like the weirder perverted shit, but they look for the weirder perverted shit because everything is so taboo that they want to keep going for that high. Anyway, Shogun here, thank you. Says, my thing is if Skynet happens, you'll never know because AI would know it freaks us out, maybe. If Skynet were to happen, they would just launch the nukes from the silos and we'd all be fucking dead.
That's it.
It wouldn't be a slow thing. It would just happen.
It would just happen.
It would just happen. You'd be like, oh, what's that in the sky? Oh, okay, we're all fucking dead. You know, like that's about it. Like I could, you know, I mean, the only thing it'd be like the Matrix. I could see them going like, well, we should keep the human population controlled, but the whole battery aspect is kind of stupid because, you know, like solar panels and shit.
Not only that, you got the whole, you know, would the computer know that the nukes it's going to take them out too? A lot of them.
Yeah. Would Skynet nuke the planet because EMP blasts are a thing?
Yeah, and now
right?
It's a massive. It's Armageddon.
That's kind of dumb. Yeah, we never thought about that. Yeah, Skynet launches the nukes.
Yeah,
but like, how does Skynet survive?
Yeah,
you know, you almost feel like a hydrogen bomb would have been like a better idea there, right? You know, because that would leave them intact.
Another one I'm excited for. I really can't wait to see that movie. You know,
which one?
There's just so much going on. I haven't been able to really get on. I'm gonna dip out here and let you finish your show.
Yeah,
like, dude, Scream 6, and then I got to see Cocaine Bear, and then the stuff with the Ninja Turtles. There's all these new movies coming out and shows. I haven't got to Mandalorian. I haven't got to really touch base with you guys about all that stuff, but you know, I know you're not a sports guy, but we got the college basketball tournament going on. There's just like so much going on in my life right now, man. And then between that and then taking care of my pops and shit, it's fucked up. But I have fun every time I come on here. I always feel better. I sleep good that night. I don't know why. It's just good to have a conversation. Where you're not arguing.
I sleep really good. I was able to get it all out of me. Yeah, all right. Yeah, because they're still like, we didn't get to any of the news stories really that I wanted to get to. A couple more to get to, and then I'll wrap it up. Myself.
Yeah, something like that. But I'm going to finish watching you on the big screen.
All right, man. Well, have yourself a good one, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, and then I'll watch you from the big screen. That way we're not getting sidetracked. You finish. I know you got. Well, it's your weekend, but still. Anyway, I always have fun when I come on here.
Thanks a lot, Chris. I appreciate it, man. Bro. I'll see you later. Get to sleep. All right, Chris, the bipolar jetter, the jetter. I'm gonna start calling him the jetter, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's move on here. There's a lot to cover and not a lot of time left to go here. According to Bruce Campbell, he has finally kind of unretired himself. I think I might have mentioned this briefly last night, but I just wanted to pull it up again for, yay purposes. Saying Bruce Campbell says he will star in another Evil Dead movie if Sam Raimi directs. God damned right that is. What I'm hoping for is a continuation and a conclusion of Ash versus Evil Dead. Stars, to their credit, tried to keep the show going. Stars, to their credit, very much did a lot to, really help with that. Unfortunately, though, it just didn't materialize. I know some people have claimed piracy. I just don't. I'm sorry. Game of Thrones had the same issue. Apparently, it lived on just fine. I would argue in many cases it has a lot to do with just stars. Like a show like Ash vs. Evil Dead needs to be on Netflix, where there's a lot of people. It's stars. Who the fuck has stars? But anyway, if Sam Raimi wants to do it, he says, I'll go on record here. These guys don't scare me. I worked on Xenos and nothing scares me. If Sam says, Sam Raimi, will direct another Evil Dead movie, then I, Bruce Campbell, will consider being in it. I don't want to be Ash, tended to by other people. Sam's the meanest director I've ever worked with, and Ash needs a little bit of that to shine. And I think Sam's the only director now who I won't punch in the face making an Evil Dead movie. I'm just saying. I've called Rob and Sam out. I'm not the coward that they think I am. I just want the right circumstances because Sam, even though he's done studio movies, he's still a good director. So I want Sam, so I'll do it for Sam. And that's great. I love Bruce Campbell. Absolutely would love to see another him, conclusion to his character. You know what I mean? Like, just give us that conclusion. We'll be very happy as a fan base. Moving on, Super Mario Brothers, the movie, comes out in just like 2 weeks, folks. It's almost here. Chris Pratt's voice about the Mario is going to be finally heard by everybody. And then we're going to love it or we're going to hate it or we're just not going to care. But either way, this movie is, I think, the movie of the... I really feel that the Super Mario Brothers movie is the movie of the year. I know I said that about Cocaine Bear. I was let down. I was disappointed. I need to watch it again. It's on PVOD. But anyway, Mario is Mario is Mario is Mario. Mario was great. People love Mario. They love it. It's big around the world. It's a near 40-year-old franchise. And it's been almost 30 years since the last movie. By the way, next month marks 30 years since the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993, which I do believe also is an underrated classic. I'm just going to say it. I don't hate that movie. I love that movie. I defend that movie. I follow a Twitter account that talks about that movie literally every single day, and I enjoy it. I love that movie. That being said, this is one that's always what it should have always been, having an animated film. What they're looking at here is an $85 to $90 million 5-day, but it's bound to mushroom. Like they're looking at this thing pretty good. All right. The Flash, no, we're not going to, no, The Flash is going to do well. So there's that. Hold on here. Fandom NSL says, why is Max getting upset at James Gunn for defending his wife? Is he still live? Is he still live right now? Is that what's going on? Hold on here. I just wanted to know, is he still live doing that? Is he complaining about it right now? No, I don't see him. I don't see him being live. So, okay. If he was live right now, I'd be like, you send him, someone give him, fucking bitching him to come on here and explain that shit. That's stupid. Real Talkster says, do you think that estimate is going to be high? No, I don't. Oh, he uploaded a clipped video. Okay. Maybe we'll take a look at that here towards the end. No. I don't think, I don't think, that the estimate's high. Real Talks. Mario is a massive fan base, but you have Mario plus Illumination. And outside of Pixar, Illumination is like really the only one doing the business. And even again, Pixar movies have not been able to compete with Illumination financially for what feels like a while now. Now, a lot of that has to do with the pandemic, obviously. Okay. But you've got like the Minions movies have pulled in $1 billion. The Despicable Me movies have done very well. Illumination knows how to turn a profit. They know how to turn a fucking profit. Chris Melanandri even took over DreamWorks Animation. And look what they did with Puss in Boots. Go back and watch 2011's Puss in Boots. And you're like, the movie's fine, right? The movie's good. I enjoy it quite a bit. But then go and watch the Melanandri produced and overseen Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And what they did with that and how it just fucking elevated the Shrek franchise to a place that you wouldn't have gotten, I think, under anybody else, to be fair. Melanandri also did that with The Croods. The Croods 2, I think, is far better than The Croods 1. I like The Croods. I like both movies quite a bit. I'm just saying it's like there is something there that they have with Melanandri. And Melanandri is also on the board of Nintendo, meaning that there is a very, very, very big deal between the two of them. So what we're looking at here is something that is going to massively strike, and it's going to happen during spring break, I think, right? During that time. So it's got most of the month of April pretty much on its own. And I think that's going to do very, very, very well leading up to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Because here's the thing. The movie's short and it's good. People will go see it multiple times. People will probably already go see it multiple times, considering the fact that they're going to want to pick up on the small things that they missed before. There's going to be tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of articles and videos and podcasts and TikToks and YouTube shorts and blah, 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 about what did you not see in Mario Brothers? Here's all the Easter eggs that you missed. And then people are going to watch it and they're going to want to go see it again, maybe, right? Or what you're going to have too is you're going to have very positive word of mouth, right? Very positive word of mouth about that. That to me is something that I think is going to be really fascinating as we get into it. So that's something there to consider. And again, I think this movie is going to be $1 billion movie. I could see it being 1.5 billion, no problem. I'll even go as far as to throw a long prediction to say 2 billion. Because if there's any property out there that can nail that kind of cash, it's fucking Mario, dude. If the movie is good and it's rewatchable, it will slay. It will slay. I'm seeing it on the 5th. Already got my tickets. I'm taking my kids to go see it. I'm just going to watch it first because I want to see it without any interruptions. Because I'd be pissed off if I took my kids to go see it and my 5-year-old starts getting all fidgety and doesn't want to stay. I ain't leaving. I mean, that's just the whole thing. I don't think it's going to happen, but it is what it is. Yeah, Mad Queen Danny here says, me and all my nerd friends will be going. Exactly. HWAD here says, what if Mario bombs? It's not going to bomb. It's not going to bomb, dude. If there's ever such a fucking thing about that, it's just not going to bomb. Let's see. Ralph's Double Tits here says, Pixar's lousy attempts to earn high numbers like Lightyear will always bomb. They admitted that they were wrong with Lightyear. And I think Lightyear was definitely like a Chapek sort of thing where it was like, look, get into the IPs and shit, but they should have never done it without Tim Allen, like flat out. So there's that. Is it going to do over or under Top Gun Maverick? Oh, dude, over, because you have the kids going this time. You have the adults and you have the kids. I mean, Top Gun Maverick lived on, definitely lived on. But I could see Mario even taking a bite out of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 when that comes out. So Ralph's Double Titzer says, wearing my suit to the first screening of Mario. Oh, are you like a gentle minion? This here says, I will be laughing if the Mario movie flops. Mass excuses for it will be funny tell to watch. If Mario flops, I can own it. I have no problem owning it. Okay. But again, look at Sonic, right? Because Rational Skeptic here says, can't wait for the 3rd Sonic movie. I was thinking about the Sonic movies today because they're great. They're great. They're awesome. Fandom NSLs here said, did you see Varieties projecting that Across the Spider-Verse getting nominated for Best Picture 2024? Only 3 animated movies have ever been able to do that, so it's quite the honor. I saw a headline about that today. I didn't read the whole article. I think that's fascinating. I think that's really fascinating. If they're able to pull that out, and I agree with Guillermo. It's time to start treating animation as being a potential Best Picture category, because animation is fantastic. I mean, there's so many movies that could have easily, I think, made a run at that particular category. But again, Hollywood is as risk averse as humanly possible, even if they're award shows. So there's that. But I agree with you. There's a movie called Chup on Netflix coming out. I don't know. Never heard of it. There's a lot. There's fucking so much shit that's coming out, man. I have no idea. Let's see. Music Man says, I still don't know how you did it without Tim. What are you talking about? Tim. Oh, wait. Who you mean? Who's Tim? I don't know. Oh, without Tim Allen. Sorry. Rational here says Toy Story 3 was nominated for Best Picture. Was it? Wow. I was living in LA at the time. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was happening. That's crazy, dog. That's real crazy. So, okay. Why don't we take a look here at the Willow thing? I want to talk about this real quick because I do need to There's other stuff to get to, but this is one that's on the cover. Why is it every time I go to a different tab, StreamYard cuts the connection? Jesus. Here we are 2.5 hours into the show, and I finally get to what's on the thumbnail. So we all know Willow was canceled, right? Willow was canceled, and a lot of people were like upset about that. A lot of people were kind of cheering it. I think more cheering it than not. But I was waiting to see what John Kasdan, who was, I think, the showrunner on the show and the head writer, which is the showrunner, what he had to say about it. And he actually put out a lot of information today, kind of pushing back against the other bits. So this is what he said. This is what he put out there. He says, "Dear Willow supporters and vocal opposition, you guys get in here too. Writing to you today, one preposterously, criminally, and immeasurably lucky fool. The outpouring of kind words, support, and passion for our shabby, idiosyncratic little show has been nothing short of mind-blowing and profoundly moving. Not just for me, but for everyone who worked their butts off on it. We're all inexpressibly grateful and thrilled that you enjoy watching it almost as much as we enjoy making it. Even if those of you who didn't enjoy it, yet stuck with it for 8 hours to critique each episode and let us know exactly what choices you weren't a fan of, that too is its own incredibly specific form of flattery, and we appreciate it. As a lifelong devotee of Deadline Hollywood, I also appreciate the punchy headline. I also appreciate that punchy headlines drive clicks. So I understand how Willow canceled after one season on Disney Plus is fun and juicy. However, as I'm nearly certain, as I've had more conversations about this in the last couple of weeks than Nelly and Driva, of whom I remain an ardent fan, I feel confident that if asked, neither I nor the folks at Lucasfilm would have or actually characterized it that way. The truth is less splashy, but here it is. A decision was made last week to release our main cast for other series opportunities that may arise for them in the coming year. With all the TV and movies in production around the world, it feels unfair to limit an actor's availability without a clear sense of when you're going to need them again. It's further trivialized by the simple reality that the scripts we've been working on require just as many actors from our first season with whom no such contractual hold exists. Nothing prevented Annabelle Davis, for example, from taking another show, but you better believe Mims appears in every single Volume 2 chapter. If you're asking what this means for you as a viewer or me as a creator, here's what I think it means. Due to forces much larger and more intricate than I could ever pretend to fully understand, production of streaming shows is slowing down across the entire industry, and Willow won't resume filming in the next 12 months. But here's what's equally true. With the enthusiastic and unwavering support of Lucasfilm and Disney, we've developed and written what we hope is a brain-meltingly fun, richer, darker, and better Volume 2, which builds on the characters of our story of the first 8 chapters, The Worm Survives. Going on. Volume 2 is about courage, desire, acceptance, and the comedy and beauty to be found even in the darkest places and moments. It's about the enemies we must inevitably confront, both and without, often far more insidious from within. But above all, it's about the ineffable and enduring magic of friendship. I'm confident I speak for everyone involved when I say we'd all like nothing more than to deliver Volume 2 on the scale expected and demanded by the story we're telling. Are we going into pre-production? Not right now. Does that mean we're never going to make it? Absolutely not. 3 weeks ago, we got a third season of Party Down 13 years after season 2. Between seasons 2 and 3 of Atlanta, 4 years. Curb Your Enthusiasm, seasons 8 and 9 had a hiatus of 6 years. Not to mention the little movie I love called Willow that didn't get its weird, well-deserved sequel for 35 years. Perhaps that the one thing that Hollywood has consistently been great at over its entire history is servicing the appetites, no matter how obscure, of its consumers. And I have total confidence that if an appetite for more Willow persists, Disney, Lucasfilm, and this amazing cast and crew will satisfy it. Is now the best moment to campaign demand more? I don't really think so. I recommend preserving your outrage for the many real outrages in the world. The entertainment industry is in a moment of radical global upheaval. The terrain ahead is unknown. But do I think enthusiasm for a show will still be meaningful a year from now or two? Definitely. As are all the people you recommend Willow to that can enjoy it whenever they want, but declaring it dead in the cultural in which we now live feels frankly as anachronistic as, I don't know, putting a Soundgarden cover on a fantasy show. All right, you guys gotta give that a little credit there. You got to give that a little credit. As for me, personally, I've been working on Willow for nearly 5 years, and I've had the privilege of playing in sandboxes built by George Lucas and stewarded with the deepest care and love by Kathy Kennedy. For 9 years, if you've hated the castles I've built, or helped build in those sandboxes, this news should come as a tremendous relief and welcome respite. If you've enjoyed some of it and want more, I promise you that whatever I have to offer will only be cooler, funner, and more exciting for the momentary break I'm now afforded. And then finally, he says here, I know fandom can be divisive. I know sometimes people say mean things, but I got to tell you from deep inside, that has not been my experience at all. I love all you guys, and I relate and identify with every single person who is passionate about Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Willow. Even if we crave slightly different things from them, I think an open dialogue and fan involvement only enriches these worlds as they grow larger, fuller, and more inclusive. I have the best job in the world, and if you think I don't deserve it, you're absolutely right. No one deserves to have this much fun at work. I love everyone I've had the tremendous good fortune to collaborate with these past 9 years, and I couldn't be more excited for what lies ahead. Ignore the bird, follow the river, and I promise it will take you where you need to go, John. And look, I agree with McLeod. That's a really, really good response. That's a very classy response. I completely agree, Ambassadorial Wing. That's a really good response. All right. Yes, my voice is cutting out for a little bit. Sorry, I can't control that. It's stupid fucking StreamYard. Okay. All right. All I'm saying is that all of this stuff is a problem. It is. A lot of it is determined by what the viewer retention is and everything else. And, but will there be more Willow down the road? I don't know. I can't tell you. I mean, part of me would like to think that the cancellation of the show to some extent means that more people will tune in to check it out. But I also feel that what they need to do, and I've talked about this in multiple instances, is to finally sit there and go ahead and work on it. Like John Kasdan, if he wants to start campaigning to get more, start talking with people about Willow, going on podcasts, talking with idiots about it, just having a good old time and doing an actual grassroots movement. That's the whole thing with that, right? That's the entire aspect of it. I unfortunately forgot Willow was on. No one was really talking about it. No one in the chat here was really talking about it outside of the cover songs. And I was like, I don't really feel like watching something that I'm not going to like. And maybe I was influenced by other people. And that's usually something I don't try to do. But I think it might have happened on a subconscious level. Like I said, I didn't even watch National Treasure. I don't know why. The trailer for Willow looked fantastic. And I kind of feel like I owe it to my love of fantasy and my love of Lucasfilm and my love of, Ron Howard and even John Kasdan, who, again, his father wrote Empire and his father wrote Raiders. Two of my all-time favorite movies, one of which Raiders being my all-time favorite movie. So this is something that I should dive into. I should spend time with. I should go and seek out. And I think I will. I will. And it don't mean anything right now, but I can at least give it a shot and see for myself. And I think that's something we need to do, because looking at this response, John Kasdan, he didn't blame people for hating it. He didn't blame Rotten Tomato review scores. He didn't blame anything. He just said it's simply, given where things are in the industry right now, it's just they're not moving forward with it. And they didn't want to hold their cast back from working on other jobs. So they chose to go that pathway. And he's appreciated it for anyone who watched it or talked about it. And that's a classy fucking response. And we honestly need more of that. I now actually have more of a desire to watch Willow and to appreciate it and to embrace it because of that response. Because he's open to it, being over for right now, but it could potentially come back. I think it's such a really good thing. I think it's a really good thing. Let's see here. McLeod says, a rumor I've been hearing is partly because Warwick Davis's health has been deteriorating. Well, I hope that's not the fucking case. I love that guy. Let's see. Fandom NSLs, do you think Disney will make Pirate 6 and try to bring back Johnny Depp? I think they're gonna have to. But he won't be the main character. He won't be the main character. That's kind of what I think about that one. I don't think he's going to be the main character on it, but I do think that he will end up being part of it. I think if you don't have Johnny Depp, you're stupid. That's just where it is for me. If you don't have Johnny Depp, you're kind of dumb. You're kind of dumb. So, all right, here. Let me see this one because I just like. All right. God damn it. Okay. I'm going to bring this up. I'm just going to bring it up because what the fuck? Okay. For one, Max. Okay. I got to see if you guys brought it up. You guys caught my interest on it. So, here is the thumbnail that Max chose for his video about what the fuck is this thing called? The James Gunn keeps pointless hardcore Shazam scenes, but removes Batman and Superman. Okay, so obviously, that's his take. You guys are kind of giving me some of the shit about some of the stuff about that was not very good. Okay, let's just take a quick look here. So this is what his clip out is.
The critical. Okay, well here we go. Bringing it up here. Now, Senior Nerd. Pay no attention who tweeted this. Oh boy. Don't only pay attention to that part. Okay. I'm just getting to this.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
All right. So, and I got to make a topic for this. Because this is important. People think I'm a James Gunn hater.
You are a James Gunn hater. Just saying.
Oh, this might be potential spoilers, though.
I don't think so.
For Shazam 2, I don't think people are going to be watching this movie this weekend. So, screw it.
Okay. Now,
Hold on. I just got to kind of criticize Senior Nerd on that one there. Just because you aren't going to go see this fucking movie doesn't mean that other people aren't going to go see this fucking movie. And maybe they don't want what you're going to potentially be spoiling to be spoiled for them. I actually saw the scene that they're talking about here on Twitter yesterday. I watched it. I thought it was funny. It's the post-credit scene. I thought it was funny. And I want to see the movie. And I've been messaged today by multiple people who went to go see Shazam 2. And all of them have told me that they fucking love it. And if I didn't have my kid with me tonight when I was going out doing deliveries, I would not have had to come home early, and I probably wouldn't have streamed, and I would have gone and seen the movie. So I'm probably going to go see it tomorrow and just catch the late show of it. But again, it's like I want to see Shazam 2, not because of some ideological whatever the fuck, but because I really enjoyed the first movie, and the second movie looks like it's going to be just as much fun. So again, people just need to fucking pound sand and stop bitching and moaning about everything. But let's go on.
All right. Here's the topic. He did not cut the Shazam 2 cameo, but he's cut other ones in the current slate of DC. Now, what I would like to say
the fuck are you talking about?
James Gunn,
what the fuck are you talking about?
I absolutely agree with what he's saying here. And people absolutely lost their shit on me, called me a hater because I said he has the right to say these things, but should he say it? He's causing himself some issues.
By defending his wife, he's causing himself issues.
Say, even if it's truthful, you should not always open your mouth because it just drags.
Oh my fucking god! Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Okay, so real quick, some asshole, the Speak Truth for Life cockknocker, says stop putting your wife in every DC project. So, and again, people have been attacking Harcourt. They've been attacking Jennifer Holland. They've been attacking his wife. As soon as this whole thing happened, you fired Henry Cavill, but you kept your wife. Like, motherfucker, like, these movies were done before he came on board, right? Like, it was done. Even David F. Sandberg has come out and defended what they're talking about here and talked about, like, how it came to be. And that he was happy to include certain people because he enjoyed another property. And he was happy to have it come together the way that it did. And so it's one of those things where it's like James Gunn defending his wife is something we should all be applauding. Because he's defending his family. He's defending his love. He's defending his partner from baseless, useless slander by knuckle-dragging neckbeards who never leave their fucking basement and have entirely fucking furniture built off of just frozen solid cum rags. Okay, because that's what they've got now. They've been able to mold them and shape them into a weird kind of underground dwelling that smells like the low tide of an ocean and is super unhygienic. But let's continue.
In the mud. So absolutely, he is 100% right here that this person was being snarky on Twitter, and this is Twitter. This is what people do. And this person was looking for attention, adding James Gunn and adding his wife. And I totally understand supporting your wife. I understand, James. And that's probably the hardest temptation, is not to go to bat for your wife. But spoiler warning for Shazam 2. I think people know by now, Jennifer Holland makes an appearance, and she's made an appearance in Black Adam, and she keeps showing up. So this person, I am not defending this person whatsoever. They were completely being an asshole to James and his wife, which I disavow. But I don't think adding to it or even giving air to this troll helps anything. And ultimately.
But it wasn't just that troll. It's been a lot of other people. And I think at this point you should know that James will respond, because he doesn't allow people to just run all over him and change the way he thinks or speak for him. He doesn't just allow people to say stupid shit. He'll call them out. He'll be like, this is not true. This is not right. He maintains an honest and fair approach to practically everything. Even if people criticize him, he'll be like, yeah, all right, whatever. Like, the only one he kind of got snarky with was Josh from Den of Nerds, who let's be fair, Josh sucks. All right. Like, Josh sucks, completely sucks. Like, just totally sucks. He's a piece of shit. Okay. And James called him out. But the thing is, again, like, James is defending not only his wife, but he's also talking about the fact that, like, he wasn't in charge when these things happened. If you notice here, he says here, while I was deep in volume 3, meaning he was working on another project at another company, had no say over what was happening with the previous regime, and was only recently offered the position to come in and take over. So, but again, people don't fucking realize this, and Max should fucking know better, but he clearly doesn't. Maverick here, by the way, upgraded from Matinee to Prime membership. Thank you so much, Maverick. Really appreciate it. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah. Ambassador here says, oh, gee, you disavow, aren't you special? You associate with scumbags. You're like a broken record. This is a little bit of a broken record one. If Max was watching, I'd send him a link. He could come on in, but it's like 3:30 his time. He's probably asleep. I'm just saying, like, this is kind of ridiculous.
What did we see this week, Senior Nerd? We saw the major trades running with headlines. And these are not like lower sites. James Gunn hires himself. And all this other thing, all the other.
I saw one outlet. I forget which outlet it was. I saw one outlet say that James Gunn gifted himself the directing job for Superman Legacy. But let's actually fucking talk about that for a second. Let's actually look at this from a whole perspective. James Gunn, back in 2018, the first thing he was offered the day after he was fired from Marvel, when DC called him, probably Walter Hamada with Toby Emmerich on the phone, the very first thing he was offered in July of 2018 was a Superman movie. He turned it down. He's been open about that. He's been very open about that. He wasn't in the right place to do Superman. He wanted to do Suicide Squad, wanted the redemption arc, wanted to play with that sandbox and those kind of characters, because he wasn't in the right frame of mind to tell the story about hope and optimism. So what happened? A couple years down the road, he got over what was happening. He was able to put out some content that he liked. He found his groove again. He was able to go in to finish volume 3, to do Suicide Squad, to do Peacemaker. He found himself in a newly reformatted mindset, a refresher, if you will. And then he had the idea for how to tackle Superman. So he then talked to Warner Brothers again about that particular option, pitched them his idea, and they said, okay, cool, why don't you go and do it? That was 6 months ago, 7 months ago, however long ago. It was like maybe, It was like summertime of last year. Let's be fair. Okay. And this is after Peacemaker had come out and blown up, done very well. This is after he had gone and shot Guardians and he had written that. This is after he had gone and shot Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special. He was trying to tell a very specific story and one that very much would resonate with where he is now. And yet he probably also was going to be brought in to direct the movie as well. That was probably something that was going to happen right off the bat. And again, that happened with the old regime. So then you get the new boss, Zazie, right? Hamada's out the door. Cool. They're like, all right, well, you're already on board to write this movie, to direct this movie. Why don't you take over as well? And Pater here can run all this shit and you can handle the creative, which is exactly what he's trying to do. That's exactly what he's trying to do. So the fucking snarky bullshit about how he gave himself something, it was probably already in the works. It was probably already in the works. Now he just has the whole thing of being the boss on top of that, but he had already accepted a gig months before he was offered a promotion. And what I love about that, what I love about these comments are that people fail to understand that. Like, they just forget the timeline. James reiterates this all the fucking time. He'll go on a Twitter diatribe about it too. He'll give you the dates. He'll give you the timeline. His story stays consistent. He's telling the truth. He does this kind of stuff all the time. But no, oh no, you gave yourself fucking Superman Legacy, buddy. You gave yourself this movie. You gave it to yourself. You could have given it to somebody else. You could have done that, but no, you had to come on in and take over the company and then give yourself the biggest piece of the fucking pie. All while ignoring all the context, all the history, and all the information we've previously known about this particular story. People are fucking dumb, dude. They're fucking dumb, man. It's just crazy. Anyway, I would send him a link. We're not like, no, I mean, I talked to him the other day, and everything else. I'm just saying it's like, I would send him a link because I'd want him to come on and fucking own it. That's all it is. All right. Like, that's all it is. I just want to give this like another minute. I'm just getting frustrated because again, it's getting late and it's like, this shit's stupid.
Other projects is he hasn't hired anyone else except himself. And then you get,
oh yeah, he said
wait, hold on there. Spaceship here says Grace said the same thing about James. Okay. You know what that means? That means Max is just copying what he heard from Grace. You know, let's see. Spherical Commander says, oh, and Max keeps saying that gun fans have Snyder derangement syndrome. No, they don't, man. They just like, Snyder isn't doing this anymore. Snyder, like I talked about that last night. Full circle SnyderCon 2.0 is a culmination, not a continuation. And on Sunday he'll be on with the Nerd Queens to give us more information. So Sunday night when I go live, we'll have that video to look at to get the relevant information. Jesus. Okay, Max will become a Grace. He's still a Grace fan. He hasn't stopped being a Grace fan. 100%. 100%. But I'm just saying, look, H-Barts, I would send him a link to be able to come in and defend his comments. That's all it is. All right.
He's going to direct Legacy, right?
And then if he wouldn't talk so much on social media, it's social media disease. Lots of people have it. And that's all I said. And I got called a complete hater. Now, I like to talk on social media, but I don't have a job in Hollywood. You know, I would like to debate this stuff, but he talks too much sometimes.
Okay. Sorry. Just like, you know, I mean, are you the gatekeeper of who the fuck can talk on social media? Are you the gatekeeper of who's allowed to say anything, of who's allowed to talk about stuff? Are you that gatekeeper? You know, I have a job, but I don't have a job in Hollywood. You know, Hollywood, they operate on a different timeline, you know? So it's like oftentimes they don't start till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, usually still later, like 9, maybe 10 because of traffic. It's a really real big bitch. But when you go on in and your job is to, you know, create shit, you do set limits for yourself. You set limits for yourself because at that point it does become a standard job. Okay. You know, the thing with James is he's had those times where he could work on his own and however he wants to do it. work remote, write the scripts or whatever. But now he's got more of a kind of 9 to 5 sort of gig, I guess. And he's got more to, there's times where there's going to be down times. Maybe he goes on Twitter and he just takes a mad ass shit while he's doing it. He's like, I had that fiber shake for breakfast. I got to go work out this thing. It'll be a few minutes. He's over 50. His body is changing. It's, who knows? And who the fuck are you to fucking say fucking shit? Seriously, who the fuck are you to say a goddamn fucking word about this? The guy's defending his wife and you're like, you're terminally online. Because people spread bullshit and he wants to combat bullshit. Don't you think that he, after going through a massive smear campaign that he went through a number of years ago, all the Snyder fans that for some reason, like Max still wants to associate with, who have friends or then themselves have called him a pedophile or tried to insinuate that he's a pedophile based upon jokes he made well over a decade ago? Don't you just think that maybe a guy who's been slandered in the way that he has and misrepresented in the way that he has and mistreated in the way that he has, maybe has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder about misrepresentation of things that he is doing or things that he has said? Or maybe he doesn't quite care for the social media backlash that it tends to be attacking his wife that he recently married. I mean, it's like we can take a step back and kind of look at the fucking overview of the situation, right? Take a real good landscape look at it and go, maybe, just maybe, he's not the terminally online one that is out there trying to criticize. Max, shut the fuck up about this particular topic. At this point, you need to shut the fuck up about this fucking topic. Flat the fuck out. Get mad at me for saying it. I don't fucking care. Okay? Like, I don't give a fuck. All right? Like, you are so up your own ass on this specific subject. I don't even want to watch any more of this, to be honest with you. I'm already frustrated. Shut the fuck up, bro. Just shut the fuck up. All right? Like, you got some good takes every once in a while. Don't fucking delve into this shit. Okay? Just don't do it at all. It doesn't make any goddamn sense to me because you don't know what either you are willfully obtuse over what has gone on, or you simply don't give a shit about what's happened over the span of the last 5 years to understand why he's tweeting and why he's defending himself against people who spread bullshit. The people that you're like, oh, they're all my friends. I like everybody, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you fucking tell some of those assholes to shut the fuck up and stop fucking tweeting out that he's a goddamn pedophile? How about that shit? How about fucking that shit? Right? But no, he's out there defending his wife and he's terminally online and he's tweeting too much and dude, the fuck, bro. Like, seriously, it's ridiculous. If you don't understand, God, dude, this is a reason why for people who don't understand history are doomed to repeat it. Flat the fuck out, man. Flat out. It's like Max is that saying in a fucking nutshell. Jesus Christ. Oh, he's so frustrating. Why? Why did I watch that? Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's too much. It's too fucking much, guys. So, all right, let's take a look here at this, we'll kind of, unless I missed something, I don't think I did. We're going to kind of end the night out by, let's watch this. We'll chit chat for a few more minutes afterward. But this is the Unicorn Wars trailer. I don't know what this is. This is recommended by Ryan Hartwell. So thank you for that, Ryan.
Aquí los mimos son de acero, de sangre y de dolor. Apuntad bien. ¿Cómo pensáis sobrevivir en el bosque mágico con esa actitud?
Es la peor compañía que he visto en mucho tiempo.
¿Acaso no es verdad que el unicornio robó nuestras tierras fértiles? ¡Muerte al unicornio! ¡Muerte al unicornio!
Ay de quien beba la sangre del último unicornio, pues se convertirá en ser hermoso y eterno.
¿Tú crees que yo seré el elegido?
Sí, Azulín. Seguro que sí.
Tienes que ser bueno, hijo. Tienes que ser el mejor.
¡El sagrado corazón mimoso! ¿Qué has hecho?
Mirad bien, hijos. Fijaos contra qué luchamos. Hay que tener fe.
Nosotras somos el bosque y moriremos con él. ser valiente. Te quiero.
Corazón mimoso para ti.
Corazón mimoso para ti también.
Yo, is that already out? Can I watch that? Can I? Where the fuck can I watch that? That looks amazing. That looks fucking dope, dude. I have got to check that one out. Where can I watch? It said it's on digital March 10th. It's now March 18th. It's been a week. Why come no one told me about this? Why come no one told me? Son of a bitch. That looks awesome. That looks great. I love the idea of like fucking Care Bears versus fucking unicorns, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's going to be a fun one. Got to find a way to watch that. Okay, cool. Found it. All right. Can pick it up later. Let's see here. Yeah, Taylor says that looks excellent. I completely agree. Ambassador asking, have I ever seen The Last Unicorn, the animated film from the 80s? I know about The Last Unicorn. I've actually never seen it. Maybe I saw it when I was a kid, but like I don't fully remember. I don't remember. So that ends up being one of those things where it's like I need to see it. But that looked fucking sick. That looked great. Like, what the fuck? That looked awesome. I love the synopsis here. War-hungry teddy bears journey from boot camp to the psychedelic terrors of the magic forest in this darkly beautiful horror animation. Nice. It's an hour and a half. Okay, cool. That's definitely worth watching. All right. Oh yes. Also, I forgot to mention that Sam Neill had talked about he had cancer, like stage 3 cancer. And it's in remission and he's feeling good. He said he's not scared of dying, but he doesn't want to stop living. And I think that's a very good way of looking at it. So I'm very, very happy for Sam Neill, big Sam Neill guy. Let's see. Jess, who's in here? Jordan says, I've seen a movie from the director of Unicorn Wars. It's called Bird Boy. I've never heard of Bird Boy, but that sounds pretty cool. I should check it out. I should make a audio commentary. Yeah. I mean, it's like, so here's the thing with that, right? The thing with, what is it? With Podio. So like, it's like the fact that YouTube now allows you to put this shit out on a podcast, like this episode will be out on a podcast. You can find it on YouTube Music. It's like, okay, so I got to like figure out how to do that for like Podio commentary. Because apparently YouTube Music is like really big, and adding podcasts to that's going to be a good way to just bring in more people. So yeah, I got to figure all that out and whatnot. Plus, I mean, I like having the conversations about the movies too. I like to do it by myself, but I also kind of feel like sometimes conversations would be better with somebody else. I think what it is I need to like really sit down and like put together a list of potential co-hosts and then reach out to people and try to get guest hosts to come on for each week. But man, I'll tell you, I would need like a producer to do that because I would lose track of time. I would like legitimately just lose track. Like that's how bad for me it would be. Cause I just would be like, I could do it myself. It's not a problem. And that's just me being honest. So, all right. G Kids is like the A24 of animation. What does that even mean? What does that even? Hold on 1 second. Are you out there? Maddie? Like my door opened up. That's kind of weird. I don't know if my kid's out there. Hey, come on. It's okay. I'm almost done. Do you want to come say hi to everybody? What are you still doing awake? It's almost 1 o'clock. Okay, well, I'm almost done. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Say it. They can hear you. What are you watching? Is it some weird thing on your tablet? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know is that Nastia?
No.
Is that Kinton? Who is it? I don't even know. It's Avelina? Okay, I don't know who Avelina is.
Evelina is a big sister.
She's here. Say that into the mic.
I can say
Say, it's okay. Say Avelina. You're saying Avelina is a big sister?
it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Evelina's like.
Okay. Are you embarrassed? Is that what's going on? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's probably gonna have to kind of wrap up the evening. If she's awake, I gotta go, and we're gonna have to go lay down or whatever. Oh hey, what was that word you were calling me earlier? Do you remember? What was starts with butt? What were you calling me? Wait. She did this the other day. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. All right. I'll check my DMs real quick. I probably shouldn't have her hear it. What is this new one here? Oh my God, Ash, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? Okay. Oh no. All right. We'll listen to this real quick. It's only 45 seconds. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Which one did I forget? Jess, I'm sorry, man. Was I? Oh yeah. The Bob. Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. We'll do this here real quick. Okay. This is just it's 45 seconds, and then we'll wrap this up.
I'm a straight rider. You don't want to fuck with me. Got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing to a G. I won't. Now you know how I do it. I'm a straight rider. You don't want to fuck. What really go on in the mind of a got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing to a G. Money over I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't want to fuck. Stay on your grind, homie. Got the police busting at me. My ambitions as a rider. Deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't want to fuck with me. My ambitions as a rider. Busting at me. I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider.
What the hell was that? I'm just going to say, he's got a voice for AI. He's going to be so pissed when he hears this in the morning. That's great. That's fucking hysterical. I mean, freaking hysterical. What are you going to do? No, we don't need, what do you need a picture? Speak, what, hold on, speak up. What?
It's a picture.
It's Ant-Man on an ant from the movie, because we got the coloring papers from the theater the other day. Yeah, but we're not going to color right now because it's 1:00 in the morning. We got to go to bed. Yeah. What are you laughing? Okay. All right, guys. Listen, I appreciate everyone popping on in tonight. I got to go do dad. I've had to go do dad mode a couple times tonight. Oh my gosh. So I probably won't be on tomorrow night unless I'm not able to go see Shazam, but I'll definitely be on Sunday. We'll talk about the SnyderCon, what we know about that. And yes, everyone go get some sleep. Okay, put the book down. She's got a book. All right, everyone. Have a good night. I'll see you later.